ग्रिफिन मैंने डिस्कोर करता फिर भी कोई ना रिप्लाई। पृथ्वी और दरला की चलती अलग कहानी, छत में दोनों मिलके करते मस्ती पुरानी। जेस्टी का बस एक ही मिशन इन दी वन की फाइट, दिन हो या हो रात रेडी एवरी नाइट। फुटबॉल का एक किस्सा सबको याद है आज, एक दिन गायब हो गया बन गया कम्युनिटी राज। अग्नि बनना चाहे फ्रंट मान, सपने बड़े महान, मी टेरी दौर है टैलेंटेड बस टाइमिंग थोड़ी अनजान। सेंस की कहानी अलग 2 मिनट का जान, हर टॉपिक पे आ जाता उसका नया राग। सिलिया रखे सबका ख्याल दिल से बड़ी स्वीट, रेनर छत में आता तो शुरू हो जाती हीट। समा का नाम सुनते ही सब बोलते लो भाई, पर फिर भी हर रेवन में उसकी अटेंडेंस। रिमुरू स्टाइल का किंग है, ज्वेलरी का शौकीन, केनपाची और रैंक्सी दोनों का उस मशीन। टोर्नेडो जंगर बनने आया बड़े अरमान, पहले राउंड में हार गया फिर भी रखी। रायुगा अपनी एक कम्युनिटी, हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी। रायुगा मस्ती मीम्स और एंडलेस बातें सारी रात, रायुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात। ये है रायुगा फैमिली, अगर सबके रंग, कभी हंसी कभी रोस्ट कभी गाने के संग। जो भी आए यहाँ बन जाए अपना यार, रायुगा कम्युनिटी रहे सदा तैयार। रायुगा रायुगा कम्युनिटी सब आ जाओ साथ, हंसी मजाक मस्ती और दोस्ती की बात। सनी रूल इजुमी सबका अलग अंदाज, रायुगा के मेंबर्स है एकदम खास। सबसे पहले सनी आता लिव स्ट्रीम पे छाया, काम के नाम पे कभी कभी नींद उसको आया। फिर आता रूल मारा है वेंस का सुल्तान, नए नए टूर्नामेंट्स लाके बढ़ता अपनी जान। इजुमी रहती थोड़ी सच पर सबकी करती केयर, पेरिस की तारीफ करना उसकी स्पेशल फ्लेयर। थोड़ी भूल कर है पर दिल से बड़ी प्यारी, छत में कुछ भी भूल जाए फिर भी सबकी यारी। रायुगा अपनी एक कम्युनिटी, हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी। रायुगा मस्ती में और एंडलेस बातें सारी रात, रायुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात। डरला का मूड अनप्रेडिक्टेबल सबको करे हैरान, छत में आते ही शुरू हो जाता नया तूफान। अभी भी सबको सपोर्ट करे सबकी बने दोस्त, हर डिस्कशन में मिलता उसका पॉजिटिव पोस्ट। कौश है काम का राजा, सुबह से लेकर रात मेहनत करके रखता सब कुछ एकदम साथ। हैप्पी करता फ्लर्टिंग जोक, छत में रहे एक्टिव, सब उसको बोलते सिंपल बंदा है अट्रैक्टिव। म्यूजिक को बस काम ही का मैनेजमेंट की क्वीन, हर इवेंट को स्मूथ बनाए जैसे परफेक्ट मशीन। रायुगा अपनी एक कम्युनिटी, हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी। रायुगा मस्ती मीम्स और एंडलेस बातें सारी रात, रायुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात। कभी लेट आती सबको देती सरप्राइज, ग्रिफिन मैंने डिस्कोर करता फिर भी कोई ना रिप्लाई। पृथ्वी और दरला की चलती अलग कहानी, छत में दोनों मिलके करते मस्ती पुरानी। जेस्टी का बस एक ही मिशन इन दी वन की फाइट, दिन हो या हो रात रेडी एवरी नाइट। फुटबॉल का एक किस्सा सबको याद है आज, एक दिन गायब हो गया बन गया कम्युनिटी राज। अग्नि बनना चाहे फ्रंट मान, सपने बड़े महान, मी टेरी दौर है टैलेंटेड बस टाइमिंग थोड़ी अनजान। सेंस की कहानी अलग 2 मिनट का जान, हर टॉपिक पे आ जाता उसका नया राग। सिलिया रखे सबका ख्याल दिल से बड़ी स्वीट, रेनर छत में आता तो शुरू हो जाती हीट। समा का नाम सुनते ही सब बोलते लो भाई, पर फिर भी हर रेवन में उसकी अटेंडेंस। रिमुरू स्टाइल का किंग है, ज्वेलरी का शौकीन, केनपाची और रैंक्सी दोनों का उस मशीन। टोर्नेडो जंगर बनने आया बड़े अरमान, पहले राउंड में हार गया फिर भी रखी। रायुगा अपनी एक कम्युनिटी, हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी। रायुगा मस्ती मीम्स और एंडलेस बातें सारी रात, रायुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात। ये है रायुगा फैमिली, अगर सबके रंग, कभी हंसी कभी रोस्ट कभी गाने के संग। जो भी आए यहाँ बन जाए अपना यार, रहे सदा तैयार। Rayuga, Rayuga! रायुगा कम्युनिटी सब आ जाओ, साथ हंसी मजाक मस्ती और दोस्ती की बात। सनी रूल इजुमी सबका अलग अंदाज, रायुगा के मेंबर्स है एकदम खास। सबसे पहले सनी आता लिव स्ट्रीम पे छाया, काम के नाम पे कभी कभी नींद उसको आया। फिर आता रूल मारा है इवेंट्स का सुल्तान, नए नए टूर्नामेंट्स लाके बढ़ता अपनी जान। इजुमी रहती थोड़ी सच पर सबकी करती केयर, बैरिस की तारीफ करना उसकी स्पेशल फ्लेयर। थोड़ी भूल कर दे है पर दिल से बड़ी प्यारी, चट में कुछ भी भूल जाए फिर भी सबकी यारी। ओ रायुगा, रायुगा अपनी ये कम्युनिटी, हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी। रायुगा, रायुगा मस्ती में सो एंडलेस बातें सारी रात, रायुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात। डरला का मूड अनप्रेडिक्टेबल सबको करे हैरान, चट में आते ही शुरू हो जाता नया तूफान। अभी भी सबको सपोर्ट करे, सबकी बने दोस्त, हर डिस्कशन में मिलता उसका पॉजिटिव पोस्ट। कौश है काम का राजा, सुबह से लेकर रात मेहनत करके रखता सब कुछ एकदम साथ। हैप्पी करता फ्लर्टिंग जोक, चट में रहे एक्टिव, सब उसको बोलते सिंपल बंदा है अट्रैक्टिव। म्यूजिक को बस काम ही का मैनेजमेंट की क्वीन, हर इवेंट को स्मूथ बनाए जैसे परफेक्ट मशीन। रायुगा, रायुगा अपनी ये कम्युनिटी, हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी। रायुगा, रायुगा मस्ती मीम्स और एंडलेस बातें सारी रात, रायुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात। कभी लेट आती सबको देती सरप्राइज, ग्रिफिन मैनेक डिस्कोर करता फिर भी कोई ना रिप्लाईज। पृथ्वी और दरला की चलती अलग कहानी, छत में दोनों मिलके करते मस्ती पुरानी। जेस्टी का बस एक ही मिशन इन दी वन की फाइट, दिन हो या हो रात रेडी एवरी नाइट। फुटबॉल का एक किस्सा सबको याद है आज, एक दिन गायब हो गया बन गया कम्युनिटी राज। अग्नि बनना चाहे फ्रंटमैन, सपने बड़े महान, मी टेरी दौर है टैलेंटेड बस टाइमिंग थोड़ी अनजान। सेंस की कहानी अलग 2 मिनट का जान, हर टॉपिक पे आ जाता उसका नया राग। जिलिया रखे सबका ख्याल दिल से बड़ी स्वीट, रेनर चक में आता तो शुरू हो जाती हीट। समा का नाम सुनते ही सब बोलते लो भाई, पर फिर भी हर रेवन में उसकी अटेंडेंस। रिमुरू स्टाइल का किंग है, ज्वेलरी का शौकीन, केन पाची और रैंक्सी दोनों का उस मशीन। टोर्नेडो जंगर बनने आया बड़े अरमान, पहले राउंड में हार गया फिर भी रखी। ओ रायुगा, रायुगा अपनी ये कम्युनिटी, हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी। रायुगा, रायुगा मस्ती मीम्स और एंडलेस बातें सारी रात, रायुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात। ये है रायुगा फैमिली, अगर सबके रंग, कभी हंसी कभी रोस्ट कभी गाने के संग। जो भी आए यहाँ बन जाए अपना यार, रायुगा कम्युनिटी रहे सदा तैयार। रायुगा, रायुगा रायुगा कम्युनिटी सब आ जाओ, साथ हंसी मजाक मस्ती और दोस्ती की बात। सनी रूल इजुमी सबका अलग अंदाज, रायुगा के मेंबर्स है एकदम खास। सबसे पहले सनी आता लिव स्ट्रीम पे छाया, काम के नाम पे कभी कभी नींद उसको आया। फिर आता रूल मारा है इवेंट्स का सुल्तान, नए नए टूर्नामेंट्स लाके बढ़ता अपनी जान। इजुमी रहती थोड़ी सच पर सबकी करती केयर, बैरिस की तारीफ करना उसकी स्पेशल फ्लेयर। थोड़ी भूल कर दे है पर दिल से बड़ी प्यारी, चट में कुछ भी भूल जाए फिर भी सबकी यारी। ओ रायुगा, रायुगा अपनी ये कम्युनिटी, हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी। रायुगा, boring but डरला का मूड अनप्रेडिक्टेबल सबको करे हैरान चट में आते ही शुरू हो जाता नया तूफान अभी भी सबको सपोर्ट करे सबकी बने दोस्त हर डिस्कशन में मिलता उसका पॉजिटिव पोस्ट कौशल है काम का राजा सुबह से लेकर रात मेहनत करके रखता सब कुछ एकदम साथ हैप्पी करता फ्लर्टिंग जोक चैट में रहे एक्टिव सब उसको बोलते सिंपल बंदा है अट्रैक्टिव म्यूजिक को बस काम ही का मैनेजमेंट की क्वीन हर इवेंट को स्मूथ बनाए जैसे परफेक्ट मशीन कभी लेट आती सबको देती सरप्राइज
British is a whole of fans waiting for this match. The BT and I will be joined by the third day of the What's the day? How are you doing? Yes, sorry. How are you feeling?
Hello, hello.
All right. Yes. We are back,
Okay.
PT.
Yeah, I am back, and this is going to be the MOBA Summer Cup, and we are live. Now, this time around, we do have an exciting team playing it out, and that's going to be Team IGN versus Team Godlike. Let's see how it goes. I'm your Kasapichi, and I will be joined by Debbie. Hello, Debbie. How are you doing?
I'm very excited to see this lineup, PT, because look, it's got like an IZN and the two teams that we have had known for a while now, and I'm surprised that they are going against each other in this best of three quarter finals for the MOBA Summer Cup. So there's nothing else to be excited about other than this one. So let's see, because the bans and the draft is what I'm gonna be looking for. Because of the versatility of the meta that we have right now, IGN onto the first pick, they will be banning away the Marcel.
Ooh,
Sir,
Marcel,
what's your command?
understandable. That is one of the heroes that we do see getting it banned. And along with the Marcel, I do feel like a Freya could be it. Let's see if it works out quickly or not. So far, Godlike goes in for a respect ban. That is going to be funny, understandable, because under the previous game as well, where Team IGN
am
were
a
playing,
daughter of Northern
they
Vale.
gave
I
Joseph
swear to
a
protect
fanny,
and kill
and
my
they won it
last
up so
breath.
easily.
Yeah, that's right. You don't want to give away the penny to even IZN or God L2, because I understand that this is a hero that you really want to prioritize on top of that. And Atlas ban and Beleric ban is a must. And I think if IGN want to go for the Beleric onto the first pick, they have to ban away the Valentina. But then again, if they ban away the Valentina, they're going to be letting go of the heroes that are so good onto the first pick here. Like the Hirara that they have taken away, which is surprising to me, because they could have had the Hirara onto the first pick because it's still going to be very safe, but got like they ban away the Beleric, so there are so many opportunities for them to ban away the heroes that are very first pick worthy. What's left, BG?
Ooh. Atlas, Belleric down. Now, first pick. Maybe a blind pick by Valentina. IGN would love to go with that, but at the same time, very early on, I don't feel like that's going to be coming in. Onto the same note, the Paquito might be an option for either of the teams.
If they, I think Corey has been very comfortable onto the Paquito, but then again, if they pick out the Paquito, there's always a chance for Godlike to try to directly counter it out with the Fulvius as well. It's not really a prior pick, it's a very situational pick. But then Yeah, there we go. It's gonna be the Barats. It's gonna be much better of a choice, and it's really good because if you give in into those objective team fights, the Barats really comes in handy. So, got like, what do they have an answer for this Barats here? I think there's so many ways to answer this. Even the Elite has been a very successful pick. Even the Esmeralda on top of that, because you don't want to lane against the Barats. You want to leave the Barats alone and try to do your own thing into the other lanes. That's very given if you take out a hero that can fast clear.
That's true. That is true. So I do want to see something of an Alice or possibly an Arlet to work out, because for the Barats, he's going to act as a secondary
Time to go to
tank,
the
giving
R&D
out the sets.
show.
If
Some
if
fun.
the mid
Still
lane,
waters
not the
run
mid
deep.
lane, but the tank, the roamer, even if he fails to give out a set, there's going to be the Barang. At least a one-man pickup could be working it very well. But God, like esports, going in strong with a Lilia as well as a Ling, that is a good combo. But we are still yet to see the crowd control. How is it going to be? Because for IGN, they have started with the sustain and a crowd control, and I was expecting something like a Lunox to jump in onto the mid.
I think the main reason why they pick out the Lilia is that, of course, it's good against the Barats as well, but it's also a very good winning side into the mid lane. You have a very good clearance no matter what the hero
You should
are
be
going to be brought
ashamed for
upon
not
by IZ and
trusting
into the mid lane,
yourself.
and this is what you want. You want to have a good clear
Point out
into the
all the
mid side
injustice in the
if you want to
world.
play the lane. You want to have that rotation that's faster. But Doom, of course, will be onto the show, and the Eudora was completely left open, which is surprising to be honest. If Godlike wanted to go for the Ling, it was like a no-brainer to take away the Eudora too. But then they wanted to have a very good clear into the mid side rather than a deny pick, and I think this is also another way to approach your draft. But Godlike, they still do need to have a good rotation from the mid side. With the choke given away, I don't know what can Art can go
Need
for
some
here to combo
stitches?
together
I
with
can
the Lilia.
help.
Oh, Lilia. Something onto the crowd control is quite needed. A Badang, I feel like it might be it, but as Chow is already gone onto the other side, which is definitely a surprising
I
pick
am
given the fact that that
vengeance
is a rolling Chow,
incarnate.
not an EXP. So that is definitely new coming in from IGN. Would love to see how it is gonna get executed. But before that, back into the banning phase, we are getting the Moscow out of the way, making sure that Melissa will be having a bit of a safe space. But for the Melissa to get the snowball, it's going to be the late game after 12th minute for sure.
Yeah, 12 minutes is what the power spike will come through from hero with the attack speaks here. Uranus ban very well called out. I think Uranus is the hero you want to ban when you have a very late game carry into the jungle as well. And the
Pain
Ling gives so
is the
much
proof that
versatility
I'm
to the
still
gold lane as well,
alive.
because there are so many ways that you can pick out a winning gold lane, but also you can pick out a very good clearing gold lane. And this is what they wanted the Melissa for. And I think the Melissa pick and the Moskov ban is very brilliant from Godlike, because they are denying out the heroes into the gold side that will be good against the Link. And look at that, they banned the Brody as well, which is what the IGN would have gone for. And now they cannot really go for the fighter into the gold lane again. If they have to go for it, they have to play a Yi Sin into the jungle, which is not really recommended at this point because it's a Link after all. But I do like that they ban away the potential marksmen that can come to here. So many good ways for the Link to play, and this
My
Link
kiss
will be
grants you
their main carry
immortality
too. So
or
that's what
death.
I was thinking about.
Definitely. Alice out of the way, as we mentioned that it could be a potential pick for against a Barats. So that is looking quite good. But for IGN, what are they gonna go into the goal lane? Now Melissa is someone is playing it out with a range, and you do want a bit of a range onto your hands as well. So what is this going to be? Something like a Bruno, but at the same time the Bruno is going to be quite vulnerable right there against the Ling, who would be constantly coming into the back lanes. So what is it?
hmm Okay, it's kind of tough to say now, but I feel like Godlight can hold on to a bit while to see whether they wanna go for a bit of a crowd control, big crowd control, jungle, and I mean not jungle, roamer. Okay, Hylos. This is like they are going back to the comfort onto the art as well because he's been so good in playing the Hylos so many times. So they just want a bruiser into their room here. This will be giving much more reason for Lanaya to play a bit into the damage side, but I think it's not necessary to go for another damage here anymore. They can go for an extra set that can be the initiator. So for IGN now, this is the problem, right, PG? Because what are the gold lanes that are left? Whoever you picked upon, it's definitely gonna be a very, very good foot for the Ling, unless it's a fighter,
Yeah,
and the fighters are not there anymore. Unless they wanna go for the Paquito, that is.
that's true. Very rare chance, I would say, that we would be getting that of a Pokito being onto the goal lane. But okay,
Gold
that's
lane.
gonna be. Wait a minute.
Hey,
Wait a minute.
Jungle
Chivalry is
Barrage, is
dead,
it?
and I will
Yeah,
revive it.
definitely. Chao EXP?
Okay, no. It's a Tao Roam, Jungle Barrage, Hilda XP. Because Ikori does play the Hilda XP. I'm thinking that. But Clean was the option that I wanted to go for. But then again, when we saw a Ling, you don't really want to play a Clean who cannot really bring any other kind of resources onto the sustain side. He does win the lane against the Melissa though. So now they already have a dive. What do they want to go for? Okay, Esmeralda. This was like what we
Sustain.
were expecting from the very start. Yeah, sustain. And you don't need another layer of damage already because they have had enough. Lilia, Link, Melissa, plenty of damage dealers. But one I'm worried about IGN is that they don't have that late game potential. Because for Godlike, they are also secure for mid to late game. Lilia is
That is
there, the
true.
Link is there, the Melissa is there. So, everything will be into the hands of the Hilda here. I still think it will be in the XP lane though.
Yeah, but I mean, there is like a very rare chance that we will be seeing Chao onto the EXP, but that too going it against a Esmeralda maybe would be needing
Mm.
very good lane clear, because one thing about Esmeralda, very good at cutting the lane, so that's something we would be seeing. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, into the land of dawn, here we go. Oh, that's going to be a wait a minute, so close. Red doesn't get out of the way. Art picks up the first blood.
Very, very good rotation. Not the rotation, but the skill set coming through from Art as well. He did not even use his revitalize, but look at the stun.
Yeah, once again, we might be able to see the second blood art where he'll take it down quite low, but Shenzu not leaving it open. That's going to be a kill into the hands of which as well. Array goes in for the second Lanaya. He has to get out of the way, and I'm pretty sure he will, but there is a continuous chase over him, knowing Team IGN are in, because hey, if you don't put that kind of pressure, it's going to be very bad. But Array, that was not it. That was too aggressive, and on top of that, overextension will be equal to death penalty.
I think so too. That was a very, very great penalty. But yeah, I think it's like, you wanna have every bit of control from the mid side when you play a Cho, but it's when you go against a Lilia, it's kind of tough. That's why I was thinking maybe Godlike will be onto the winning side, but they did have a very good response. They did try to go for the big response, but I think Array Verstein is welcome just a little bit, because you cannot really do that when you're gonna get read out so easily by a Hylos who have also a concussive plus a damage on top of that, so it's kind of unnecessary to say the least. But IGN though, they are all onto a fast moving hero, but there is a lack of crowd control that they can bring onto the table, which Godlike will be able to abuse here. With the first hurdle coming through, it will be more important for Joseph than for Lanaya, so IGN should be the one trying to set, but I don't think they can with the constant poke coming through from Senju.
Renzo, definitely, he is someone onto the Lilia who can have the early game onto their hands, and they have it. Executor onto the other hands is trying to go for the double lane farm up, which is really important. And I kind of still don't understand the idea behind taking the Hilda. I kind of feel like
Yeah.
that's something similar to a Uranus, which is still good. But wait a minute, into the mid lane, Detona's welcome comes in. Joseph
Oh!
is unable to get out.
Super.
Goes, that's going to be the Tempest Blade from Lanaya. Perfect combination of the blades, but the kills was quite far behind because that's Joseph onto a fighter jungle.
I am gonna admit, man, I am such a Ling Glacier in this current meta. It's called a damage, but when you are against a utility, it's usually very, very tough to get a kill or two. And you see, oh wait, never mind, top lane?
Oh, Fate is he's getting that kind of a gold shield, which is going to be quite fatal. So I do want to see Executor farmed up the same as well. So far, Godlike do have the control over the river area, which is looking quite good, but a bit of emphasis onto the bottom lane as well.
I think so. This is like a very good winning mid side that you have. Your rotation is so much gonna be cleaner. But Vitch, my god!
Oh, taken down. Not the position. This is what I was talking about. Godlike do have
Yeah.
the river area onto their hands. So if you go from that side, it's going to be a death penalty as usual. But as for IGN, now they will be trying to get themselves a bit of a turtle, given the fact that the goal difference is going quite high. Even though it's not even 5 minutes out of the game, it still matters because it's the early game. Shenzu pops up his black shoes right on time, but Witch thus pops his ultimate as well. A bit of a slowdown comes in. Array finds Shenzu right there. That's a good of a kill, but Witch, he tries to get out, but the slows from Art skill, it's just too much. They might be able to get Art, but at the same time they lost the Roma, the Chow. But that's going to be Narashi from the back lanes. Look at them, the muddles connecting onto every single one of them. Josen taken down quite too low. Just 2 seconds right there, but the basic attacks from Narashi would be there.
Okay.
Lanaya goes in for the double, maybe for the triple. Executor flickers out of the way at the right time, but no, it's gonna be futile. Triple kill, but they get Narashi. IGN do get Narashi at the right time.
I think Narashi just wants to die, man. It doesn't really matter because they really traded out with 3 of their possible but then good kills, 4 kills. But yeah, that's a very, very good lead for the side of Godlike right now because of the rotation coming through and the tankiness, the sustain that Art have. I don't think it's worth it to take the tank who is really... Wait, never mind, look at that.
Once again, that was just a precautionary ultimate coming in. They want to make sure to, get the slows in. But Executor this time around is finding the link onto him quite a lot. And as for the link, who has farmed up and is actually making sure to get it on, but Daytona's welcome or not. Will they be able to get on? They have to put a lot of resources on it, and that's not going to be looking quite good given the fact that the Lion jumps in at the right moment. That's going to be Witch taken down. 1+1 offer, but hey, Witch thus gets one in that manner. Godlike once again putting so much pressure onto the mid. They want the mid lane as quickly as possible. Executor, there's going to be a chase down by Narashi as well as Chenzu as well. Look at the pressure that they are putting in.
Yeah, this is not the kind of pressure you would see usually when you are playing an assassin and the opponent's side is playing a utility. You would expect that the utility would be the one doing it so much better. But then again, if it came down to the farming here, the Link will be having so much of a better time in comparison to a Dino. So Joseph hasn't been having the perfect moves because his jungle is completely unsafe because they were losing onto the mid lane as well. Lanaya?
Oh, Lanaya once again pops up the retribution in a defense manner. Narashi, he's trying to go for Witch, flickers out of the way. Daytona's welcome won't be finding one, and they are right there. There is definitely quite a lot of stuns from the side of Team IG, and Narashi taken down. That's gonna be good for you. Array still waiting it out with his kicks. He's trying to find the perfect moment, especially the link, but he doesn't get the link. Try to go for Fate as well. It was a futile attempt, and Godlike once again will be the one losing a tank, but this time losing a roamer is still okay, and they have won this trade.
That's what, man, that was a perfect dodge onto the Tempest of Blade coming through, but another damage. Oh, Corey?
Oh, Corey Curie, what taken down. it's not looking quite good, even with that kind of a flicker popped off. Godlike are definitely pushing it in. Look at that, are giving so much space for their team, especially to Narashi as well. Look at him, he's able to go into the back lanes. A Purify coming in, a bit of a kick as well. Narashi, there's gonna be Lanaya jumping with the Tempest Ablaze for the escape and gets out of the way. Look at him, he's out there for the crumbs and he gets it fully.
Yeah, he gets it fully very easily at that too, but I think it's important that IGN could lay down just a little bit, because Godlike is a kind of team that wants to brawl all the time and try to find some compensation with the brawl, not just a mindless brawl. And IGN are giving that very easily, and I don't think it's really necessary to do that. I think they shouldn't go for the initial engages, because you know you have a throw, of course you are gonna be the one who's gonna be initiating the team fights, but I think it can also be played in such a way that you will be peeling for your team, because for all those while that the fights have been happening, it has always been Godlil trying to go for the fights. They are trying to disengage and re-engage again and again. Look at that though.
Oh, I'm not liking it. Atlas gets kicked on the crowd control layered so well. The inhibitor will be intentionally taking him down, but Fade onto the front lane takes down 2, goes in for triple, gets it, but Lalaya onto the back lane with the Tempest of play. Maniac for Fade. He's going in for the Savage, but no, Arid does not want to give him that into the Nexus. They do get trapped in, but they do have mobility to get out. And before that, they are just going in for those minions so that, you know, the other minions can jump in. But wait a minute, Witch finds them so low already, but Narashi, that was a little bit overextension and will be taken down.
That was a very easy takedown from Narashi. I mean, he was between the turrets at that point. But Fate is so well farm and fed, and he's on the Purify too on top of that. And there's no way that the troll will be able to reach him down, because even if he doesn't have to go away, there's always gonna be the Purify that help him survive there too. But look at that.
Lanaya taking that. Oh my goodness! IGN is layering those crowd control like that. Definitely they got it there in the game. But Godlike, one by one, I feel like they are dying this time around. Despite IGN losing so much turrets, they are playing it as quickly for the kills so that they could take away the bounties, which is much needed.
Yeah. That was absolutely necessary to take Lanaya down, but their next question arises, right? Who will be able to take Fate down? They don't have a range. They don't have the ways to reach into the backlines. The only one that can do it is Korikuti onto the Hilda. But even so, it's not really a good idea to send the Hilda there, because the Go Away is always gonna be sending him back, and you will be dying there instead too. Even though they lost Lanaya, they'll be able to take something out there. Look at them.
Oh my goodness, they're trying to push it down on towards the inhibitors coming in from Godlike. Oh, Joseph finds one. That's going to be odd. Taken down by Witch. This is a bit of an overextension, definitely, given the fact that IGN are able to take in one. Narashi does get sent off. The Lords coming in, they lost one of the inhibitors, and on top of that, Godlike are trying to make sure to get those minions synchronized very well. Bottom lane, there's going to be a bit of a pressure. Top lane, there's going to be a bit of pressure as well. The minions are coming in. Joseph is tanking so much damage right there. Fate, he pops up his ultimate right as it defends. He tries to tap Korikuti. He is so low, so slowed down, and he doesn't find himself alive. Shenzo, no way! Black Shoes at right point. There was, this stun coming in from Witch, just a millisecond off. Laladas gets stunned off against the wall, and this is what you take a barrage for. That too against a very good thing. But Joseph is down. Fate for the legendary. Godlike lost Fate. This is still not over. IGN will have to clear those minions. Executor trying to go in for the minions, but at the same time he wants the blood of Narashi, and it's gonna be a slowdown. Finally.
A bit of a slowdown, but that was a lot of team fight happening across the board in just a few minutes of the game. But already we can see 15 to 23. It's just 12 minutes. Come on, man. these teams are so good in brawls, and you can see that who's the one wanting to go for the brawl. If you see the that counts of both the teams here, IGN very well stick. They will always be sticking to their macro style, always playing it slow, never being too aggressive or taking risks. But for God, like they don't play slow. They play fast games. They play fast momentum, and their lineup is also in such a way that they can eventually go for the engages most of the time, because they have a very free farming Ling who's a very fat too, and even if they don't really have to go for the execution part, the Ling can go for the clearance here, and I think there are for frontliners are doing so much for that as well. And IGN wasted a lot of their resources trying to take anyone to the front down. Look at the engage, another one.
Oh, another one onto the front lane right there. Joseph will be taken down. Narashi picks up an immortality quite early on because he's someone who is tanking so much. And in a bit, this is what you pick up an immortality. Even though you have lost your immortality, that's going to be the revitalize helping it out. They don't want to leave Executor alive. Narashi goes in and the brink of a death. He is still gets out alive. Out to the back lanes. That's going to be a kill onto the hands of Shenzu. The Lord's coming in. The bait is wide open, and the Godlike finds themselves first victory in this best of 3 series.
Oh, very amazingly well done, Godlike, with the draft that they have, understanding the fundamentals of the draft. Going for the brawler, very, very good into the bait out onto the clean as well. They know really well on how to play the early game, how to know that the Hylos together with the Lilia, even the Lilia alone does so well into the lane, and even a Eudora cannot really do anything at that point of a time. And it was really amazing that they were able to layer out all of their resources onto the right target. And then the follow up coming through most of the time by Lanaya was really amazingly well done. And not to forget about the fact that Fate, even though he is onto the losing side, he was actually winning that lane for some reason. And yeah, the constant poke coming through into the mid side helped Art and Senzu to rotate onto the goal side so much easier and so much faster. And that kind of stopped the gang from happening for Fate. And on top of that, he was able to win the lane even by himself. That just says a lot about the skill set that he had onto the Melissa as well. And of course, we cannot forget that the Maniac that he got. IGN though, they still have one more chance. I don't wanna see them on a hero that is snowbally. They could take out a late game hero that's really comfortable for Executor.
Agreed. Look at that. What a game coming in from both the sides. IGN really hold it out really onto the first lot. Even with just the first lot, they were finding themselves in the trouble. And Narashi taking down Executor. That was the last straw for IGN. They needed their lane clear really, desperately right there, because the lots coming in, the members are falling down. Even Joseph, as a barrage, is not able to pull up with the defense as well. So that was definitely not working it out. But hey, it's not over. We are yet to go towards the second game, and IGN can find themselves in a reverse sweep. So, ladies and gentlemen, buckle down. That's going to be the second match. And for the drafts, I do believe we are going to see quite a few similar ones right from the first game.
That's what I think. The bans are definitely going to be one of the most important part right now, and I think IGN needs to secure one good hero for themselves. Like, I like the show, I really do, but then when there's not much of a follow-up damages, I think it's not really worth it. So now Belleric will be banned. Godlike, I suppose they will take away the Marcel as well as the Atlas too, and maybe the Hirara as well, because I think Lanai can surely, definitely will be able to play the Hirara. And then there's also, given the fact that he also want to play the Fanny or even the Link too. So this is definitely going to be something that the IGN can use into their favor, because they're going to be playing to the server. Joseph, it will be a good time for him to pick out the assassins. At least one will be open, right?
Definitely, and let's not forget, like, even if the Fanny is gone, there is still the Hayabusa, there is still a Link. Possibly Godlike will not go for the first pick Link, so that is going to be something I'm kind of curious to see. Fanny out of the way, once again, a respect bans that is going to be coming in from Team Godlike. I have seen teams who don't ban up the Fanny against Joseph, and they have paid the price, but Godlike are really
Yep.
cautious about that.
the thing about Gola is that they don't ego ban, they
Yeah,
respect ban, and that's how you want to
I
adjust,
am the
right? You
daughter of Northern Vale.
you can be
I
the best
swear
team in
to
the world,
protect
but
it
then
till
you
my
can
last
also
breath.
try to go for the respect bans. You have to do this, and I think I like this about them. I like this characteristic about them, that they don't disrespect their opponent. That's what I think into the draft, especially, and that's what you want to do. Like I said, but ban away Joseph Hero, and you will be fine and dandy. And IGN, they almost always bans the Freya, because I think both the XP laner and their gold laner, they are very bit iffy onto the Freya. Not the very best, not the very worst. So you don't really want that. You want the best into this do or die situation. So God, like, I wouldn't be
Always
surprised
on the
if they
way.
wanna ban away another assassin. Oh no, they want the Atlas, do they? So Aizen can ban the Atlas now.
oh, Atlas or a Balearic is much needed, but at the same time, Matilda out of the way. That kind of screams that a tank jungle might be coming in, or possibly a fighter jungle as well. I do want to see a Guinevere getting paired up with something similar like this.
Ah.
So
Mm.
let's see if that comes in or not. Oh yeah, Guinevere could have been picked onto the last game, but at the same time, I do believe it would be taken down way faster than a Bharat. So definitely the Bharat was a right pick. There you go. That's going to be a Hirara getting banned. That means Godlike can pick themselves up a Atlas. But if they do pick up an Atlas, they are potentially giving away a good mage as well as a jungler. And they are going to do that.
Valentina could be a good choice here for IGN if they wanna pick it into right now. If they don't pick it, I think there's also a big chance for Sendu to go for the Valentina into the second pick. But I know they wanna go for a bit of a combination too, so that's alright. IGN should get the Valentina, or they can, because of the because of the ban onto the Balearic, there's not much of a choice that
I might
the
not be
Atlas can go
alignment,
against. Yes,
but
they
I
ban
do
away
know
the
my trade.
Matilda, which is why I was expecting IGN to ban out
Butterfly is
the
born by
Atlas.
my
But if they
wish,
ban out the Atlas, they are
guided
gonna
by
have to
lantern
handle out the
flight.
Hirara on top of that. Oh, they wanna go for the Juicing Barats again instead. I don't know about the juice in this meta, man. It's not really the best, not really the worst. It's very situational, so they need to have a very, very good carry into the, let's say, jungle or even the goal side.
Definitely, I see and have been a very big fan of a Bharat, so they are going
Mm,
in for that once again. Would love to see how it's gonna get paired up because I do feel like something like a
Time for a
Carmilla as a
vanity show
roamer
for some
could be a
flies.
mm,
very good pick
Still
as well.
waters
So
run
let's
deep.
see if
okay.
we are
Link.
seeing something similar to that or not. Link does gets picked up, and God like they picked themselves a Lilia. I was expecting a bit crowd control coming in, but Lilia serves as a perfect counter for the Zushin.
That's what. And not just the Sushin, but also for the Virage as well, right? And the early rotation will be so much better for the side of Godlike again, because they have a very high map pressure from the mid side. And this is how they want to play their game. Win into the mid lane. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you have a very strong goal lane or a very strong XP lane. And as long as they
Need
win the
some
mid lane, they will
stitches?
be
I
able
can
to brawl,
help.
which is what they want. So Melissa will be taken down by the side of IGN, which is very beautifully well done now, because now Godlike, they already know that. I mean, not Godlike. Aizen, they already know that they will be denied the Melissa and the Moskov again. So they have to pick up the Melissa early on. So with the Melissa coming through, IGN should get a very good carry in the jungle here. If they want to send the Barats into the jungle, they need to have an active roamer too. So I'm kind of wondering how they wanna approach this draft, because I still think the Barats is a very good flex.
Agreed. We could still put the Barats onto a flex once again, but at the same time, talking about the second phase of the bans, we ran us out of the way.
Hmm.
Next might be a marksman from the side of team IGN, but God, like they can go in for a bit of a jungler because hey, the Barats could be a flex once again. Could work out
That's what.
onto the EXP as well. So I do believe we might be able to see it because surprises is something IGN is really good at.
Yes, and Godlike, now they might wanna ban away onto the. Okay, Paquito was what I was expecting to go into the jungle PG rather than the XP side. Jungle Paquito and a Barrage. XP. I think they could have been so much better because Paquito is so good against the Link for some reason, especially into the jungle.
Come
So
on,
I think
Dexter.
other
It's
than
our
those two, it's gonna
showtime.
be a bit into the utility side if they wanna go for the jungle here because against the Link, the Hirada was a very good option. Even the Fanny and those two are taken away already. You don't want to play the Nolan against the Link in this scenario because he will always be able to catch up to that.
Gaze
And like you said,
upon the
another
edge
marksman
of the
band coming
void.
through. So Nolan, okay, they still don't want to take their chances and give away the Nolan. So Joseph might be forced to pick out the barrage into the jungle again, or what else is available? I don't see anything else available for him.
That's true. Maybe we would be seeing that now that a Beatrix is open as well. Godlike can go it for the same,
Sand
but
rises when I
Chunga's
give the word.
emphasis is really good. IGN goes in for the
Mhm.
lead, which is quite understandable, quite of a good hero as well, given the fact that
Yep.
they do have a stun factor from the Khalid, and there is the Zushin to get her stats up as well. So I do want
This
to see
land
that
is
kind
our
of
homeland, and it
layered
will
up
soon be our
coming
burial
in,
ground.
but at the same time, there you
Oh,
go.
Lapo.
This is what I was expecting. Now that the Uranus is out of the way, Bharat's has got as well. I don't see much of a tanky heroes onto the EXP later, but rather something very sustained hero that is going to be the Lapu Lapu is gonna come in.
Magic is
What
my
about a
Brody or
life.
usual?
Clint? Oh,
Oh,
they wanna go for the Harris instead. I don't know. It's kind of iffy to go for the Harris into the lane against Melissa into the level 3. Till the level 3. Level 4 is actually fine. It comes down to the skill matchup, right? But the Melissa does have a good clearance, so he can actually use that. I was expecting something into the lines of a Brody or a Clint,
yeah.
but they were lacking magic damage department, I guess, so they needed another bursty magic. So now IGN, this is the decider, right, PG? Whether it's gonna be Ibaraj Jungle or is it gonna be Ibaraj XP? Because I don't know what is a good hero for. Okay, never mind. They wanted to go for the Harley. Huh? I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay, I can see the vision. Okay, the Harley, understandable, has the mobility, has the ways to get out as well, and also the
Mhm.
big priority as of now in this meta are the marksmen and as well as the jungle. So it is a kind of a very good hero in a 1v1 setting, given the fact that and given the conditions that the Harley does have the upper hand with his goal. Because once you do outfarm the link, it does gets easier because into the last game, Lanaya was the one who was getting those kills plus the gold
Mhm.
as quickly as possible. And with the link, they are able to cut it off because they have a Khalid as well. So you will be seeing a bit of a invade potential going up as well. And as for a link, if you do invade, that's gonna look quite good. There you go. Array, look at his positioning.
Mhm. That's what. Let's see what game number 2 entails us because this is gonna be the decider for IGN whether they are gonna be staying into this tournament or not. Because meanwhile, got like they have or they are into the match point already here. Doom Array onto the Khalid doing his thing with Khalid here trying to give a bit of a vision here. Doable against the Ling, but the Ling is so much faster into the farm this time around with the chains up that he had onto his second skill, make it so much easier for him to get out the curves very early on, and he's definitely going to be less vulnerable in comparison to the before. But onto the mid side, there's a bit of pressure coming through again onto Art. He has to back away because after all, he's not on a revitalize. It's an Atlas with a flicker. So still, the Khalid man doing the same old Khalid thing.
That's true. Look at them. Once again, first blood. The last game, the first blood was out under 1 minute. I think that's like the fastest we have gotten from this team, and that is kind of crazy how they are trying to do the same as of now. Look at that. Corey Cutie caught himself between the bit of a slow flickers out of the way, which was 1 minion away, one
Wow.
EXP away, but that did not come into the clutch. I mean, if he did get that minion and the experience level at the right time, we would definitely have seen the first blood. But oh, he goes in for Shenzu, gets the ultimate deadly magic up, but that is something that would be putting Shenzu way out of his own lane. But onto the top lane, there was an aggressive move coming in from Lanaya, taking down Executor. So IGN goes in for the Lord.
Before the level 4, right? The Melissa is definitely gonna be one of the most vulnerable one that too. Even though with the flicker you have the link does really well against in before that go away is popped off. So they trade out the gold lane kill to the turtle, but wait.
Whoa, it's taken down. That's gonna be a mage taking down a mage. Now Godlike finds themselves 2 kills. For IGN, it's gonna be mid to the late game. Early game, yes, that is Joseph who is trying to get something right there, but at the same time, the something is just not working out so far. Oh, wait a minute. There's gonna be a pull onto Lapu plus the deadly magic here. There you go. It's gonna be IGN with the first kill onto their hands. Now Array is trying to open up a bit so that Joseph would be jumping in, but Art being Art, he is trying to close it off. Lanaya thus gets his orange buff rightly so, but Art will be popping his flicker. Now that is a good bait coming in because IGN does not want to fight in the area of Godlike.
Yeah, this is the nuisance that the Khalid brings into the table, especially into the early phases of the game here. Already baited out onto the flicker from Art as well, but never mind, Cody's got to be careful.
Oh, not liking that. Malaya finds one that's gonna be Cody QP, second done as well. The junglers are being quite aggressive, and IGN also finds one. Now wait a minute, it's not kind of over. Lanaya still right there trying to steal something out of Joseph's area, but at the same time the mobility from the link is quite higher when you compare that to an Harley.
Yeah, that's what Harley. It's just once for a Ling, you'll definitely be able to rotate so much faster than that too. And given the fact that even though Ray was successful in baiting out the flickers from Ard, Godlike for some reason they were able to find a winning trade again, because of course Atlas is a very fast-moving hero, and you have the skill sets to do that too. But Joseph might eventually find a perfect pick-off onto Sandro, but have to pop the black shoes. Without the big resources coming into the game right now, Art he does have the fatal links.
Oh, fatal. Joseph, he's trying to wait it out. Fatal links popped out. That's going to be taking down. Turtle executor down. Joseph down. Fate finds himself for double. He's trying to go in for more, but low mana will be, holding him out. But Narashi gets caught out. He's trying to take down Executor, but Executor, what a sliver of HP. He is out of the way. But this time around, it is still IGN. Despite taking down the turtle, they themselves finding 3 members down.
Yeah, that's what definitely is commendable about that team fight here for Godlike. Even though they lose out onto the turtle, they know that they will be able to win onto the team fights, but Executor have a very perfect positioning and onto the go away as well, trying to give out those damages as much as possible. But like you said before, this is just a 5 minutes of the game. The Melissa does need the 12 minutes or even the 15 when he is behind to get to that level of power spike that they needed here. Ard, on the other hand, he have the flicker, he does have the way to check out onto the vision and the boosters so that at least his team will not be getting caught off guard, which is what Array has been successfully doing for the whole game today. And he's trying to deny that, and I like the fact that they are adapting in game, even if it was an Atlas. So now the pressure is gonna be laid onto the table by Godlike here. Looking at the build so far, Berserker's already got the hands of Lanaya, so he's definitely gonna be doing a bit of a 2 damage that he wanted to go for. But other than that, it's still completely gonna be fine because both sides have enough damage still.
That's true. Once again, IGN are no behind from Godlike in terms of kills as well as gold as well. Very low gold difference. There you go, Art. The amount of poke damage from IGN leaves Art so much behind right there. Now he will be forced to get out of the way, but Executor on the bottom lane, he finds himself against Narashi, and that was not them finding it out. But for a cutie, I do believe they should have going in to clear the lane. Is going to be Executor regenning himself up with these minions. The turtle this is going to be the last turtle you guys are going to be witnessing. Is it going to be IGN or is it going to be Array? Goes in for double smash knockup. The Shenzu picks up the turtle. Lanaya finds himself out of the way, but the deadly magic onto Narashi. There's going to be Faye taking down the Melissa down. It's a 2v1 situation. Art who gave out such a good set, and still he will be taken down. IGN did not find themselves at the Lord, but they will be clearing out the minions quickly because of Corey Cutie.
Yeah, that's what they wanted to do here, but Lanaya will be trading out to the bot lane side very nasty onto the clean onto the Ling. Able to rotate so much faster and better than the Harley too. And this is what they wanted to play around with for God. Like, even if they go for the 4-1 composition, they will still be able to win it up because Lanaya have ways to go for those pick-offs onto the backlines as much as possible because there's not much of a peel coming through from IZN as well. And even if push come to shove, he will be able to survive with the Tempest of Blade, but Corey QT forced to ult away Daytona's Welcome using so much defensively, which is very, very crucial part of a resource for IZN there. Without that ult, without the Daytona's Welcome, it's basically always gonna be a green light for Godlike to go for the sets, especially for Art. They don't have the Purify. The only initiator that they had was the Daytona's Welcome. And if they don't have that, Godlike will always be trying to go for the brawl after they see that.
That is true, and once even if Art is down, they still have the Lapu Lapu working it down for the damage. But there you go. I see what you guys are trying to do, and that is really funny. That too in just like middle, but okay. I do feel like the team fight's gonna jump in. Art, he's finding himself trying to push away Witch as well as Executor, successfully doing so, and Godlike Esports trying to migrate towards the Lord.
They are trying to set up the Lord for themselves here, and getting a mid lane could have been so much of a good choice, but they still know that they won't be able to get it. The Lord will be what they want to set up for because they do have the long lanes already. The bot lane is cleared up. The top lane has only one outer turret left for the side of IZN. So it's going to be the decider for whether IZN would want to go for a good clearance, a good steal. But I think the situation is so bad for IZN in such a way that they don't have a control onto the map. They don't have a control onto the burst. But Array is trying so hard to grasp that control back. And look at him. He found a vision of where Lanaya is going to be. So they might want to try to regain their composure and try to set up a trap for the Lord here.
Oh, let's see. Once again, Art finds himself quite low. Executor takes away the last hit. Array taking on too much damage onto himself. So Executor finds himself the double. Now it is Godlike Esports losing out that team fight while IGN will be trying to find the Lord. But before that, they still have to take down Lanaya because his mobility plus the Tempest of Blade is still not taken down. It's going to be a threat when popping off the Retribution. They are waiting out for Joseph to put up his black shoes. There you go. Goes in for the Chenzu. I do believe they should have baited out, but no! Lanaya takes on Joseph, and at the right moment, he is out of the way. Harriet, onto the other hand, Fate is trying to fight a true 2v1 situation. 3v1 situation takes down the triple kill right there. Godlike Esports, despite losing the team fight, they make a revenge play, going in for the mid as quickly as possible. Look at them. They might be able to take down the inhibitor, but no, the Holy Shield will be there.
Holy Seal just for the savior there. That's why it's called Holy Seal. Anyway, I think that was a very big misstep from Corey QT as well, unable to get the Detona's Welcome onto Fate. And you would have thought that, yeah, Lanaya was a threat, but here comes Fate onto the highlight, already so rich. But Doom?
Taken down. Fate though, I don't like how he does have the snowball Executor playing it safe. Fate that takes a double kill, maybe looking for a triple once again, but Art finds himself out of the way. The Lord's coming in while Godlike Esports are still trying to find a spot into the semi-finale. They might be the ones because they are trying to push it and are trying to go into the back lanes, especially for Executor. Goes in for Witch, who gets stunned up and finds the Lanaya right there. It's going to be Fate taking away that kill as well. The Lord really looking quite healthy on while Executor is trying to take it down, while Godlike Esports are much more focused on to the front lanes. Look at that. Corey QT was the first one right there who was just taken down, but at the same time it is Team Godlike who are putting the perfect amount of pressure.
Yeah, that's what they are able to put out the pressure and get away on time too. Very disciplined onto the way that they have been approaching this Lord fight as well. And now with the mid lane inhibitor taken down, it's definitely going to be so much easier for the side of Godlike to go for those side lane plays. But it could have been so much better if it wasn't to the side lanes. But then again, this will be a bit of a saving grace for the side of IZN. Even if they want to go for the pick off onto the Lanaya, I don't think it's good. Look at that.
Unstoppable. Array, Weaver with a flicker. Will he be able to do that? Wait a minute, there's a bit of a stun coming in from Corey Cutie right on time. That's making Lanaya down. But even if Lanaya is down, there is the Fate, who is still the good damage dealer. They do have Wildflower. Oh my goodness, out with the Fatal Link, making sure which will be popping up is flicker. And Nairashi is just taken down quite too low because of Muddles. Array, he's quite very low, but Nairashi one kill away. IGN for the comeback. Executor makes a double kill, and they will be rushing towards the middle lane. But where is the minions? They're still trying to find Lapu Lapu.
Yeah, they're trying to find him. Narasi is so sleek onto the way that he have been hiding around the bushes there too. But this is the comeback that we are looking for onto the Melissa. Most of the time already gotten the Trinity alongside the Rose God Meteor. This is already the 13th minute of the game. This is the green light of a Melissa to come online. And finally it got like with a bit of a throw that they did right there with Lanaya not necessarily having to go for the dive onto a Khalid who have a heal. Was kind of a bit of a throw coming through from Godlike there. And IZN, you cannot really throw against IZN, who is using a Melissa too, because Executor is able to find the perfect model connection, and then the damage was already onto them, and the follow-up coming through from the rest of his members were doing such a really amazing job for them. And finally IZN showing signs of life, but the later the game goes, the more the damage will be coming through into the hands of the Melissa, and they are winning
Sparkles emoji.
Let's see, IGN, they have to find the slot onto their hands anyhow. They have to take down Lanaya this time around if they do want the Lord. I think, onto the last Lord, they were kind of hesitating to take away the Lord, and there was IGN making those waves, trying to take down the Lord. They were the ones who won up the team fight, but they were worried that Lanaya might be the one taking it away. So if they would have taken the risk, maybe the results would have scrimmed a little bit different. But at the same time, Godlike are in for the Lord. There's no Lord dance, and it's going to be Godlike for the Lord. But though he will be taken down. Oh no, and there's going to be a concealed play coming in. The Immortality saved him right on time with the flicker. He goes in for two. A nice Fatal Links. Lanaya, he's trying to take down Array, but no, there's going to be the Shenju with the last kill. Lanaya down. There is still hope for IGN, but now they have to clear the Lords as quickly as possible.
Lanaya again with a misstep, going for in. Oh my goodness, Senju has got taken down in a second, less than a second. But there was a good damage already from the Harley there. Joseph finally showing the damage that he have onto the Deadly Magic. But Lanaya though, it could have been so much better if he was able to go for the Tempest of Blade, but it was a little bit too late, and the stun, 1 second stun was enough for him to get taken down by, I believe it was the Executor, because he was the one with the most damage dealt there. And of course, you would want to go for a trade out onto the fight, because when you lose your immortality onto your tank, you would want to go for the re-engage, but it was really unnecessary there for Godlike to do that. And now they will be sowing a bit of sweat there. IZN will be finally finding their composure. They will try to go for the clear onto the silence, because they cannot risk losing out any of their inhibitors still. But look at that though.
What? Taken down. Executor, okay. There's Lanaya still on a prowl. He's waiting it up, but at the same time, Rashi taken down quite too low. Finds Witch out of place. Very low. Witch gets the mobility from his so, and he is out of the way.
Nice bait onto the Crimson Beacon with the Tempest of Blade. That's what he wanted to go for, not really fully engaging, because he knows that if he does that again, Lanaya, he will be taken down. Oryx onto the build for Cory though. He wanted to go for the stacks, and the Chastise as well, able to help him survive and sustain a long while, but he's gonna be in need of an immortality as well. But on the other hand, Harley, Joseph have all the damages that he needed. The only thing that he could go for is the sustain. Look at Lanaya. Oh wait.
Narashi down. Shenzu very low as well. Executor unstoppable. They go for Shenzu. They get Shenzu. Executor for the win. Lanaya trying to go for the split push, but there would be Joseph coming in. Mid lane in jeopardy. I don't think Art will be able to do anything alone, but at the same time, he would be just making sure to, give out the vision, give out the information that Team Godlike will be needing when they come back. But this time around, Lanaya will have to go back because Executor is really going in for the push. IGN, they're making a comeback. It's going to be the minions taking out of the way. Lanaya jumps in at the right moment. The minions are taking that, but Executor, he is unstoppable, untouchable. Look at that.
Wow, I think it was also a good idea to send Array into the side lane instead of Joseph, because I still think the Ling has so much of a better time against the Harley too, and he will be able to get a kill. But this time around, Earth.
Oh, Joseph takes away the Lord. IGN absolutely wants to make out of what's come back with Let's see, what are they going to do? Fate, he's looking quite low, but at the same time, he is trying to get out of the way, given the fact that Art is just 2 hits away. Executor still going to go for it. Lanaya finds himself making the Tempest of Blade, but he does have the immortality, but that means that Executor will be taking the Executor! No way! The Lord's coming in, but Joseph ends the game, gets the game for the reverse comeback.
Oh my goodness, that was such a sweat of a game, Godlike. That was the greatest gamble that they did, and a fumble. On top of that, you cannot drag the game to the 15 minutes when you are against a Melissa, but Executor, perfect onto the positioning, very questionable onto the way that he was trying to go for the fight, but it was all a plan all along. Joseph was there onto the base as fast as he could, and the final blow onto the base was completely well done, and on top of that the Lord was coming through as well, and I don't understand why God L haven't been ending the game, because of course that's what the Melissa is popular for this time around, defending onto the Lord, defending onto the base. As long as she is given time, she will be able to defend that. And yeah, finally IGN having a great comeback after so much, after a duration of 18 minutes, which is the part where the Melissa comes online. And I think it will be a good trade for the third game. I was like, this can be a clean sweep, but no, IGN wanted to go for the game number 3.
Oh, River's comeback is definitely a way to go. But Team Godlike, what are they going to do? Despite having such a good performance, they were not able to get the game. The last push and pull was just so needed, and Joseph creating that distraction while Executor is also right there. I was not expecting that, and that was just it for them. What a way to end the game. But hey, it's not over. We will be moving towards the game number 3. And let's see how it will be going around. Oh, talking about damage. Oh, that's definitely Executor with the highest number so far, closing it down with Fate. But that is still, in the second place.
That's why I think it's really very good that they're IGN. Each of them are doing their own job, and I think the part where onto that last Lord, and not the last Lord, the previous Lord, where the first Lord, no, it was the second Lord, the second Lord, where Lanaya was trying to go for the send onto the side lanes, and then Khalid Doom was already there trying to get out the vision, and when he saw where the Lanaya was, they were trying to go for the fight, and he was so much faster for some reason than the Ling, and that was the start of a good fight for IGN. The whole early game, they were basically a non-existence. They were taking everything. They were taking everything that Godlike was giving to them, and they were like, there wasn't any kind of response. Joseph wasn't able to do anything. He was getting picked off here and there. But after those small moments where they were able to read out the maps, that's where they were finally able to build up slowly, and they were all playing and giving everything for the Melissa to come through. So now it's gonna be the decider, PG, who's gonna be banning the Melissa, because I think it's very necessary now to ban away the Melissa.
Definitely. The respect balance is much needed. For Godlike, they picked up the Melissa onto the first game. They got the game. Second game, it was IGN. They got the game as well. Now, it is going to be really important to do so. But before that, it's going to be the Marcel, the Freya, maybe possibly the Atlas this time around. But if the Atlas is banned off, the Belleric is still open. And that's going to be a greater threat
Yeah.
towards the marksman.
Okay, now that you said it, if they want to let go of the Melissa,
Sir,
will
what's your
have to keep
command?
the Belleric for themselves. So I think they can let go of the Melissa if they can get the Belleric. But that's too much of a ban now. But Godlike will be still sticking with the ban onto the Fanny. Always gonna have to take that hero away for it's very good onto the sidelines as well. And Marcel is always a signature ban for IGN. So now it's the Atlas and the Belleric. So I feel IGN can set up a very different draft here. They can actually ban out the Valentina and force Godlike to ban out the other two heroes, or if they don't want to do that, they can actually take one that Godlike left alone, but they still ban out the Hirara even when they are the first pick. So does Joseph not play the Hirara? That's the question.
I don't think so. That's gonna be a pick.
Might
And
not be
on
a
top
leader,
of that,
man, but I do
it's
know
been
my
such
trade.
constant ban, and looks like IGN are
Yeah.
still finding themselves. Maybe something like a Bharat once again. So let's see if
Mhm.
that's the case or not. But Godlike, they banned it off. They kind of know that it would be in, but this just
Okay.
allows Joseph for the assassins. So let's see if the assassin comes in or not.
Ling, right? I think Ling is the second of his comfort after the Fanny, and it's also very good too. But with the Bharat's gone, I think this is a very good adaptation coming through from God. Like it was okay. I was feeling maybe they could have banned the Melissa, but now that I think about it, they are trying to handle the Melissa again. So
I am a
IGN they
daughter
cannot
of Northern Vale.
exactly first
I
pick the
swear to
Melissa
protect
because
it
it's
till
not
my
really
last
that
breath.
prior into the first pick. Huh, okay, at least one of the two heroes will be taken down. Belleric or Atlas, it will be open. So for Godlike, uh if they let go they can trade out. They can completely ban a different hero and trade out the Belleric with the Atlas.
Oh, but they do have to ban the Melissa because it is IGN onto the first pick. And I don't feel like, IGN would be giving it away. And even if they do give it away, it's going to be Godlike picking it
Mhm.
up. So that's like a 50-50 chance of that happening. So is it going to be an
Yeah.
I'm ashamed
Atlas? Is
for
it going
not
to be a
trusting
Melissa?
myself.
But no, it is nil.
Oh,
It's going to
okay.
be an Eudora.
Okay. So now IGN have the say in this. I feel like man, this is kinda tough. If they go for the Valentina, Godlike might eventually not go for any of the Atlas or even the Belleric, because even if they go for the first pick onto the Valent, then the Melissa can be let go, and Valen cannot really do anything against the Melissa. So now that I think about it, IGN can first pick the Belleric here. Unless God like have an answer for the Belleric, they can also play the Atlas again, or maybe even the Hylos and take the Melissa alongside too. But Belleric is good against the Melissa again, PT. So I think Belleric have more cons than any other
Mighty
heroes right
oaks
now
from
for
little
first pick.
acorns grow.
Ooh. They do commit for a first pick, Belleric though. That is
Mm.
crazy. Now, Godlike do have a chance to pick up the Melissa plus the Atlas onto their hands, even though the Atlas did not work out onto the last game, but the sets from him was definitely top tier. So I do feel like they will
Still
be trying
waters
to go
run
for
deep.
the same, but Godlike commits for a
Need
link
some
once
stitches?
again.
I can
Third
help.
game in a row, along with the Melissa. Understandable. But what are they going to go for against the Melissa now that the Brody is open, and that's going to be a very good pick, that too against a Ling as well.
Mm, okay. Melissa Ling is what they wanted to go for together because I think the Melissa will do well against the Ling, so they have to at least deny one pick. Mm, but the Belleric is already a very great answer. But dare I say that the Belleric might eventually be also a flex for
When
some
you
reason. They
gaze
can
into the
also pick
abyss,
out the throw, but you cannot really
the
do anything against the throw.
abyss
Oh my
stays
goodness, it's gonna
there.
be the Selena into the hands of Goat Witch there. I think the Selena does better against the Melissa than any other heroes. I mean, the other hero is gonna be the Farsa, but you cannot really play the Farsa against a Link. It's very, very tricky and squishy on top of that. So now, if the Belleric is into the roam, this will be a winning mid lane for IZN here. And Brody, there we go. We were mentioning about the Brody. It's gonna be doing so much well against the Melissa and maybe even the Link too. So, Godlike, what answer do they have now? Is it gonna be a Valen?
They need to. They need to get Valentina in to mimic the Belleric. It is kind of much needed. So let's see if that comes in or not. Other than that, the team could go in for the Atlas. There you go. It is an Atlas pick coming in. Understandable. You do always see a Atlas versus Belleric going on. That's just very similar to the Claude and the carry. Now that the marksmen are picked up, we are back again towards the banning phase. Now talking about the banning phase, EXP laners will be on a heavy emphasis. I would love to see something of a Lapu Lapu, Arlet, something like that picked up or banned off.
Yeah, okay. So Atlas is still what they would really are willing to go for here, and I don't really mind actually.
Gaze upon the
Godlike.
edge of the void.
They ban away the Nolan again. I don't know. Okay. Harley is still an option for Joseph, right? Like they did into that second game. Even against the Melissa, it will be fine. So I think Godlike can also ban the Harley back to back. For IZN though, they're gonna have to lean down a bit onto the mid lane here. Lilia? Do you think they would wanna ban the Lilia here?
Oh, kind of needed because that's a Selena, but at the same time, I feel like that's kind of a very greater in a threat. So let's see how it works out or not. Eudora is still out of the way. You'd have to still have a Lunox, maybe perhaps not quite. A hero that either of the teams would go for. So, yep, that's going to be a Lilia. Now, the team IGN will be banning one more of a
Harley.
fighter, but for Godlike, it is an jungler, the assassin, directed to Joseph, and Joseph thus finds himself 4 heroes banned off from Godlike.
Yep, the last picks. IGN very good onto the Valen ban. I understand that. Oh, Narasi actually willing to go for a bit of a utility this time around. A very good combination, very good against the Belleric as well, and a very good combination together with the LS on top of that. But oh my goodness, what am I seeing? IGN with the pocket picks that they have for a long while now. It's the Jamus, man. It's the, if you don't know, like it's Cory onto the Stamus. It's like he's one of his comfort pick as well. But the joy is what I was not expecting against the Atlas Peachy. And can you dive against the Melissa too? I don't think it's gonna be a bit tough for Joseph to play around the map, but they do have a damage onto the Stamus, and they do have a very, very good setter. And I think this Belleric will be playing with the flicker on top of that. So what can be the answer for Godlike here? It's a mage.
Oh, a mage. They do need something. I do feel like if they do, they need mobility. There is a Joy who's going to be really annoying. Plus, let's not forget the distance from a Brody is going to be quite annoying as well. So onto the mid lane, you need a bit of a range plus the damage coming in. And since Lilia is out of the way, Godlike goes in for their roots. Now again, this is one of the heroes, very underrated combo. You know, with the Atlas, you usually see something of a meta heroes, but not of Vexana. I think this is probably the second or the third time I am seeing, and I am assure you guys, that this is gonna work out very well, and you will soon see why.
That's what we're waiting for onto the game as well. The Vexana is a very risky choice of a pick, but the combo is there. It's very good against the those kind of heavy combination, but not the very best against the Joy actually, because there's always going to be a very good dive. Senju will have to be very impeccable onto the way that he's positioning himself, but the clearance is definitely going to be out there, and if you give God like a good clear into the mid side, they will always be able to out-rotate as much as possible there too. And this time around, IGN will not be playing that aggressive that Doom was able to do into that first few games, but this time around he will be the one playing inside his jungle to deny any kind of invade.
Let's see, into the land of dawn. Here we go. The teams are already out, already finding himself quite low against Array as well as Witch. Now, onto the bot lane as well. That's going to be Executor finding himself a bit of his lane freezed out, but it's just on the early game. Even if you don't get your minions in is still fine. You can still farm it up. Narashi comes in for the rescue. Kori Cutie will be forced to back off. But onto the same note, mid lane, here we are. I do want to see what's the damage gonna look like right there, because Shenzu though, his passive damage is really good when he still pairs it up. Let's see how the teams are trying to go work it around. As of now, you do see a bit of a pressure onto the top lanes, goes in for the same kind. Oh, Joseph, he's trying to go in for with his Rhythm of Joy, wakes it up, finds two, but it's just 30% though HP taken off. Turtle is up. If team IGN wants to go for the turtle, they need to melt it down quickly and possibly not giving it down, because Art is still there along with Lanaya and the Joseph. The retribution. Wait a minute. Witch tries to jump in, trying to go to the back lanes. Art's really looking quite low, but it's going to be Witch with the first blood on his hands. That's going to be Lanaya taking it. And when you give Link that kind of a first blood, that is not good.
But Senzu there, on the other hand, he might be getting taken down quite easily. Okay, or Joseph with a trade out for a mate for a mate plus a turtle. Now it's worth it for IGN now. But still, the goal will be a bit behind for IGN still. But I think they are so good in doing post-objective team fights, which is completely unnecessary too. I don't think they could have gone for the engagement. They get the turtle. They could have gone away without getting skates. But yeah, they had to go for the fights again and again. But other than that,
for something interesting, maybe once again onto the top lane, I do feel like it's gonna come in, but both the laners, like the EXP laners, are quite strong enough on their own, and there's going to be a bit of a safe spot for Fate as well.
Fate, I think, is doing so fine and well into the laning phase here, which is supposedly what you can do on a Melissa against a Brody too. But Array, on the other hand, they all are gonna be. Oh wait!
Oh no, why did he come back? I know he does have the fatal links. He pops the fatal links at the right time and gets out of the way as well. Lanaya for the double kill, trying to go for the triple, which with the flicker, he is out of the way. Now he does get the abyssal arrow, but it is just on a defensive mechanism from which.
Yeah, that's what it's kind of iffy to say that they were going for the engage onto Art again and again, because you understand that it's a net loss, but then again, you have to understand that it's also a link onto that jungle, onto that side of the jungle. You don't really want to go for the fights when you have the ult, but Art?
Oh, he is finding himself tacking it on from the Executor. Lord, the turtle is there, but Joseph quickly onto the retribution, takes it away. Even though, IGN doesn't have quite much of a kills, they are still right there, flickering out of the way. He is safe, but Array, he is trying to go in as quickly as possible. He does have the, Wrath of Diet, but Joseph is in trouble. The team needs it. Alice is right there trying to get the damage in. Joseph, he's trying to go with the dashes, catches Shenzu off guard, but onto the front lanes, that's going to be the Kori Cutie out of the way. Narashi, right, other than being the sustain right there, they kind of need a bit of a damage, because Godline are finding the back lanes really aggressively. Look at that, the taunt comes in for Art, solo, one shot away, and yet another time he walks to see the next second.
The big plot armor that Art have onto the Atlas, able to survive Lightning Trunton, interesting choice of a first pick for Senju there. You could have thought that he will go for the glowing one, but the lightning is such a good itemization for a Vexana. But other than that, we could see that the Thunderbell is built away by the Tamils here onto Korikuti. For now, IZN doesn't have any kind of anti-heal. Art already have the dominance ice. With one turret down already onto the top lane side, you would have thought that the first build onto the Selena could have been the glowing one and maybe go for the talisman next time around. But yeah, maybe they are just so lacking into this goal that they cannot really buy it just yet easily. So there's gonna be a bit of a window of opportunity for Godlike to go for the fights again and again. But other than that, a bit of a stalemate onto the goal inside, which is what you don't want to do against a Brody. So IZN should focus a bit more onto the goal inside, but then Godlike are not allowing it.
Definitely, both the sides are really, the stakes are quite high for them given the fact that this is an elimination round. That means the team winning it up will be sitting in the semi-finale. So let's see what will both the teams will be pulling it up, because on the bottom lane there's going to be a lot of projections onto Executor, taken down Are onto the next. He is just out of the way, but Shenzu has usual, all the 3 deaths onto him is all because of Joseph once again, which he's trying to get away, and this time around Godlike find themselves the last lord, which taken up quite low. Along with that, Lanaya, he finds his way to it, takes him away. Korikuti, you need to get out of the way. Narashi so low, but at the right moment out of the way as well. Now Fate is getting free farm.
I quite don't understand why IZN wanted to go for the fight again when they are already having a good win. I mean they are losing already. They could have focused onto the top lane and tried to go for the trade out. You don't really necessarily have to go for the chase onto the turtle when it is so bad for you, when it is like a disadvantage for you. And I think they don't really have the ways, but never mind. Look at that.
Ooh, once again, Are finds himself amidst 4 people right there. That is definitely too much for that, but at the same time, mid lane in trouble. Korikuti jumps in along with Witch to clear it out, but Joseph, though, his minions are taken, his farms are taken, which is definitely a problem.
Yeah. If you get your farm taken away without even without the holy crystal yet onto your build, it's definitely not going to be the best case scenario for a hero like a Joy who wants to dive into the backlines. And the lack of damage will eventually be not saving him quite a lot, because you are putting yourself in a vulnerable position. Never mind, Art!
Oh, Shenzu gets the mage enemy right there. This time around, Joseph was not lucky enough to get Shenzu. Double kill for him. Narashi jumps in as well. Executor is in for the damage. But Are, there is just too much stun onto him as well. Mid lane taken down.
Yeah, mid lane taken out quite easily too, and on top of that, it's so much beneficial for Godlike because look at the timer of the Lord. It's perfectly on time, and they will be able to get out of pressure onto the map, onto the side lanes, onto the mid lane as well, because they took the turret onto the mid side with just one fight that they were successful in making. And now the 9-minute log will be coming through here, very, very well done and calculated as well. So this will definitely be a very, very good lead for Godlike right now. They already have a good damage onto the hands of Lanaya, who already secured the Hass's Claws, and on top of that, Fate is ready to burst anyone down when there's a phase in front of him. So are they... Wait, what? Art?
Fatal links connecting onto 3 right there. Witch pops his flicker. It's still not over. Narashi into the turret, making sure Lanaya Plus gets a good run, but no. Korikuti lucky enough to see another second as well, but not the same for Joseph, who falls down. 2 for 2, Godlike and IGN.
2 for 2, but I still think it will be unfavorable for the side of IGN, because Godlike, they are bringing in the Lord for themselves, and they'll be able to use it to their advantage because they have the silence special with the Melissa, with the Link. The Lanaya is always playing alone, and whenever there's a set coming through together with Narasi and Art, the follow-up is always quite there. And this is the combination that you cannot really stand against a chance against, because at least Plus, and Atlas, it's already a very good setup and a good crowd control. And given the fact that they have a Melissa who will be able to target everyone and anyone with the models, it's working so well, too well for the side of Godlike right now. And with the Lord already into the top side, they will be able to get a free turret into the mid lane.
Oh, let's see. Once again, turrets might be falling down. Shenzu thus gets the Abyssal Arrow onto him, but there's no opening for which... Oh, he tries to do that. He tries to get it on, but Shenzu will be popping up his flicker in a defensive manner, making sure he gets his way perfectly out of the way. But for God, like, they will have to wait a minute or so to take the Lord, because the Lord is quite important, and the same goes for IGN. They are, Joseph is actually having a good run onto the back lanes, especially that too in a very flanked manner, which is a good thing, but his escape routes are always blocked off by God, like, that's not good. Narashi is trying to jump in. Fate, on the other hand, is trying to take it away a bit, which stunned off. It's a fatal link for Executor as well. Fate jumps in, takes down one. Executor pops his flicker in a defensive manner. Shenzu taken down because of Kori QT, but Fate will be right there to cover it up. Godlike makes a minion synchronization unintentionally, but Joseph, he's clearing out the mid lane, trying to go for the Fate. Just run away, but no, Joseph, too unlucky right there in front of Fate. Executor picks up the Wind of Nature, which is looking quite good, and Melissa has a bounty.
He has a bounty, and he was so right onto the goal that he was able to buy the rose gold onto the timing when Joseph wanted to go against him. Now, two base turrets taken down by Godlike. IGN, I don't really know what they can do here at this point, because into the previous game, they had a very late game hero. They had the Melissa. But this time around, it's a Brody who doesn't really have that kind of late game carry potential. It was a mid game hero that you really want to go snowball with. But this is kind of tough now. The late game is more into the hands of Fate rather than for Executor. And with the Lord taken again by the side of Godlike, they have the ways to end this quite easily. I don't know what they can do here at this point.
Oh, let's see, though. All the hopes are not over. IGN will have to go for the defensive play right here with the Lord that's gonna come in, and will have to really save up the base anyhow right here. So let's see if they are able to do it or not. Onto the bottom lane, there's going to be a bit of a damage coming in from Fatal Links as well. They get Executor. The Lord is still heavy, and Lanaya gets a double as well. He's trying to go in for one more. Shenzu, his passive connects so perfectly. Shenzu, he goes in for the double, and Godlike find themselves a victory and the ticket to the semi-finale.
Oh my goodness, that was so good of a combination. A wombo combo from Art and Narasi Pedal on top of that. Their final setup was the final end, and I think this time around got able to see what the problem was. They had to pick up the Melissa from themselves, and I think I know that the Belleric is a very good pick onto him for a hero in particular, but I don't think that's his playstyle, man. It cannot really work. Even if you want to go for that early game momentum, but Lanaya, 3 games in a row he played Ling, finally getting the MVP this time because of the 0 deaths that he was suffering. Not much of a problem was coming onto him. He was just there getting a free farm, coming in when the XPs are low, cleaning the backlines as easy as possible, and of course not to forget the combo coming through from Art as well as Narasi. It was so good to watch, and it was amazing that they were able to pull it off again.
Agreed, Debbie. Look at them. The team was able to do the impossible. End it with the Lord. They get it on so perfectly right there. And on top of that, as of now, it is going to be a first semi-finalist. Team Godlike securing a spot in the MOBA Summer Cup. So far, IGN definitely had a good run, but hard luck for them today. But with that, we are yet to know who's going to be a second semi-finalist, because it's still not over. So with that, Debbie, let's go in for a break and get our next team ready.
Yep.
Let's go. It's a break then, and see you guys in a short while.
हमारा इवेंट्स का सुल्तान नए नए टूर्नामेंट्स लाके बढ़ता अपनी जान इस उम्मीद रहती थोड़ी सत पर सबकी करती केयर बैरिस की तारीफ करना उसकी स्पेशल फ्लेयर थोड़ी भूल कर दे है पर दिल से बड़ी प्यारी चक में कुछ भी भूल जाए फिर भी सबकी यारी रयूगा रयूगा अपनी ये कम्युनिटी हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी रयूगा रयूगा मस्ती में सो endless बातें सारी रात रयूगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात डरला का मूड अनप्रेडिक्टेबल सबको करे हैरान चट में आते ही शुरू हो जाता नया तूफान अभी भी सबको सपोर्ट करे सबकी बने दोस्त हर डिस्कशन में मिलता उसका पॉजिटिव पोस्ट कौशल है काम का राजा सुबह से लेकर रात मेहनत करके रखता सब कुछ एकदम साथ हैप्पी करता फ्लर्टिंग जोक चट में रहे एक्टिव सब उसको बोलते सिंपल बंदा है अट्रैक्टिव म्यूजिक को बस काम ही का मैनेजमेंट की क्वीन हर इवेंट को स्मूथ बनाए जैसे परफेक्ट मशीन अपनी ये कम्युनिटी हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी रयूगा रयूगा मस्ती मीम्स और एंडलेस बातें सारी रात रयूगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात सॉन्ग कभी लेट आती सबको देती सरप्राइज ग्रिफिन मैनेक डिस्कोर करता फिर भी कोई ना रिप्लाई पृथ्वी और दरला की चलती अलग कहानी छत में दोनों मिलके करते मस्ती पुरानी जेस्टी का बस एक ही मिशन इन दी वन की फाइट दिन हो या हो रात रेडी एवरी नाइट फुटबॉल का एक किस्सा सबको याद है आज एक दिन गायब हो गया बन गया कम्युनिटी राज अग्नि बनना चाहे फ्रंटमैन सपने बड़े महान मी टेरी दौर है टैलेंटेड बस टाइमिंग थोड़ी अनजान सेंस की कहानी अलग 2 मिनट का जान हर टॉपिक पे आ जाता उसका नया राग सिलिया रखे सबका ख्याल दिल से बड़ी स्वीट रेनर चक में आता तो शुरू हो जाती हीट समा का नाम सुनते ही सब बोलते लो भाई पर फिर भी हर रेवन में उसकी अटेंडेंस आई रिमूरू स्टाइल का किंग है ज्वेलरी का शौकीन केन पाची और रैंक्सी दोनों का उस मशीन टोर्नेडो जंगर बनने आया बड़े अरमान पहले राउंड में हार गया फिर भी रखी अपनी ये कम्युनिटी हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी रयूगा रयूगा मस्ती मीम्स और एंडलेस बातें सारी रात रयूगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात ये है रयूगा फैमिली अगर सबके रंग कभी हंसी कभी रोस्ट कभी गाने के संग जो भी आए यहाँ बन जाए अपना यार रयूगा कम्युनिटी रहे सदा तैयार रयूगा रयूगा रायुगा कम्युनिटी सब आ जाओ साथ हंसी मजाक मस्ती और दोस्ती की बात सनी रूल इजुमी सबका अलग अंदाज रायुगा के मेंबर्स है एकदम खास सबसे पहले सनी आता लिव स्ट्रीम पे छाया काम के नाम पे कभी कभी नींद उसको आया फिर आता रूल मारा है इवेंट्स का सुल्तान नए नए टूर्नामेंट्स लाके बढ़ता अपनी जान इजुमी रहती थोड़ी सत पर सबकी करती केयर बैरिस की तारीफ करना उसकी स्पेशल फ्लेयर थोड़ी भूल कर दे है पर दिल से बड़ी प्यारी चक में कुछ भी भूल जाए फिर भी सबकी यारी रयूगा रयूगा अपनी ये कम्युनिटी हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी रयूगा रयूगा मस्ती में सो endless बातें सारी रात रयूगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात डरला का मूड अनप्रेडिक्टेबल सबको करे हैरान चट में आते ही शुरू हो जाता नया तूफान अभी भी सबको सपोर्ट करे सबकी बने दोस्त हर डिस्कशन में मिलता उसका पॉजिटिव पोस्ट कौशल है काम का राजा सुबह से लेकर रात मेहनत करके रखता सब कुछ एकदम साथ हैप्पी करता फ्लर्टिंग स्मूथ बनाए जैसे परफेक्ट मशीन। रयुगा रयुगा अपनी ये कम्युनिटी, हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनैलिटी। रयुगा रयुगा मस्ती मीम्स और एंडलेस बातें सारी रात। रयुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात। कभी लेट आती सबको देती सरप्राइज, ग्रिफिन मैंने डिस्कोर करता फिर भी कोई ना रिप्लाई। पृथ्वी और दरला की चलती अलग कहानी, छत में दोनों मिलके करते मस्ती पुरानी। जेस्टी का बस एक ही मिशन इन दी वन की फाइट, दिन हो या हो रात रेडी एवरी नाइट। फुटबॉल का एक किस्सा सबको याद है आज, एक दिन गायब हो गया बन गया कम्युनिटी राज। अग्नि बनना चाहे फ्रंट मान, सपने बड़े महान, मी टेरी दौर है टैलेंटेड बस टाइमिंग थोड़ी अनजान। सेंस की कहानी अलग 2 मिनट का जान, हर टॉपिक पे आ जाता उसका नया राग। सिलिया रखे सबका ख्याल दिल से बड़ी स्वीट, रेनर छत में आता तो शुरू हो जाती हीट। समा का नाम सुनते ही सब बोलते लो भाई, पर फिर भी हर रेवन में उसकी अटेंडेंस। रिमुरू स्टाइल का किंग है, ज्वेलरी का शौकीन, केनपाची और रैंक्सी दोनों का उस मशीन। टोर्नेडो जंगर बनने आया बड़े अरमान, पहले राउंड में हार गया फिर भी रखी। रयुगा रयुगा अपनी ये कम्युनिटी, हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनैलिटी। रयुगा रयुगा मस्ती मीम्स और एंडलेस बातें सारी रात। रयुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात। ये है रयुगा फैमिली, अगर सबके रंग, कभी हंसी कभी रोस्ट कभी गाने के संग। जो भी आए यहाँ बन जाए अपना यार, रयुगा कम्युनिटी रहे सदा तैयार। रयुगा रयुगा रायुगा कम्युनिटी सब आ जाओ साथ, हंसी मजाक मस्ती और दोस्ती की बात। सनी रूल इजुमी सबका अलग अंदाज, रायुगा के मेंबर्स है एकदम खास। सबसे पहले सनी आता लिव स्ट्रीम पे छाया, काम के नाम पे कभी कभी नींद उसको आया। फिर आता रूल मारा है इवेंट्स का सुल्तान, नए नए टूर्नामेंट्स लाके बढ़ता अपनी जान। इजुमी रहती थोड़ी सत पर सबकी करती केयर, बैरिस की तारीफ करना उसकी स्पेशल फ्लेयर। थोड़ी भूल कर दे है पर दिल से बड़ी प्यारी, चक में कुछ भी भूल जाए फिर भी सबकी यारी। रयुगा रयुगा अपनी ये कम्युनिटी, हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनैलिटी। रयुगा रयुगा मस्ती में सो एंडलेस बातें सारी रात। रयुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात। दरला का मूड अनप्रेडिक्टेबल सबको करे हैरान, चट में आते ही शुरू हो जाता नया तूफान। अभी भी सबको सपोर्ट करे सबकी बने दोस्त, हर डिस्कशन में मिलता उसका पॉजिटिव पोस्ट। कौश है काम का राजा, सुबह से लेकर रात मेहनत करके रखता सब कुछ एकदम साथ। हैप्पी करता फ्लर्टिंग जोक, चट में रहे एक्टिव, सब उसको बोलते सिंपल बंदा है अट्रैक्टिव। म्यूजिक को बस काम ही का मैनेजमेंट की क्वीन, हर इवेंट को स्मूथ बनाए जैसे परफेक्ट मशीन। रयुगा रयुगा अपनी ये कम्युनिटी, हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनैलिटी। रयुगा रयुगा मस्ती मीम्स और एंडलेस बातें सारी रात। रयुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात। कभी लेट आती सबको देती सरप्राइज, ग्रिफिन मैंने डिस्कोर करता फिर भी कोई ना रिप्लाई। पृथ्वी और दरला की चलती अलग कहानी, छत में दोनों मिलके करते मस्ती पुरानी। जेस्टी का बस एक ही मिशन इन दी वन की फाइट, दिन हो या हो रात रेडी एवरी नाइट। फुटबॉल का एक किस्सा सबको याद है आज, एक दिन गायब हो गया बन गया कम्युनिटी राज। अग्नि बनना चाहे फ्रंट मान, सपने बड़े महान, मी टेरी दौर है टैलेंटेड बस टाइमिंग थोड़ी अनजान। सेंस की कहानी अलग 2 मिनट का जान, हर टॉपिक पे आ जाता उसका नया राग। सिलिया रखे सबका ख्याल दिल से बड़ी स्वीट, रेनर छत में आता तो शुरू हो जाती हीट। समा का नाम सुनते ही सब बोलते लो भाई, पर फिर भी हर रेवन में उसकी अटेंडेंस साई रिमुरू स्टाइल का किंग है ज्वेलरी का शौकीन केन पाची और रैंसी दोनों का उस मशीन टोर्नेडो जंगर बनने आया बड़े अरमान पहले राउंड में हार गया फिर भी रखी ओ रायुगा रायुगा अपनी एक कम्युनिटी हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी रायुगा रायुगा मस्ती विंग्स और एंडलेस बातें सारी रात रायुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात ये है रायुगा फैमिली अगर सबके रंग कभी हंसी कभी रोस्ट कभी गाने के संग जो भी आए यहाँ बन जाए अपना यार रायुगा कम्युनिटी रहे सदा तैयार रायुगा 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 कम्युनिटी सब आ जाओ साथ हंसी मजाक मस्ती और दोस्ती की बात सनी रूल इजुमी सबका अलग अंदाज रायुगा के मेंबर्स है एकदम खास सबसे पहले सन्नी आता लिव स्ट्रीम पे छाया काम के नाम पे कभी कभी नींद उसको आया फिर आता रूल मारा है इवेंट्स का सुल्तान नए नए टूर्नामेंट्स लाके बढ़ता अपनी जान इजुमी रहती थोड़ी सत पर सबकी करती केयर बैरिस की तारीफ करना उसकी स्पेशल फ्लेयर थोड़ी भूल कर दे है पर दिल से बड़ी प्यारी चक में कुछ भी भूल जाए फिर भी सबकी यारी ओ रायुगा रायुगा अपनी एक कम्युनिटी हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी रायुगा रायुगा मस्ती में सो एंडलेस बातें सारी रात रायुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात डरला का मूड अनप्रेडिक्टेबल सबको करे हैरान चट में आते ही शुरू हो जाता नया तूफान अभी भी सबको सपोर्ट करे सबकी बने दोस्त हर डिस्कशन में मिलता उसका पॉजिटिव पोस्ट कौश है काम का राजा सुबह से लेकर रात मेहनत करके रखता सब कुछ एकदम साथ हैप्पी करता फ्लर्टिंग जोक चट में रहे एक्टिव सब उसको बोलते सिंपल बंदा है अट्रैक्टिव म्यूजिक को बस काम ही का मैनेजमेंट की क्वीन हर इवेंट को स्मूथ बनाए जैसे पर
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to MOBA Summer Cup, presented by Rayuga Esports. This is the quarterfinals, day one of MOBA Summer Cup. We have had so many exciting matchups, and finally, the quarterfinal starts, and teams are only 3 steps away from winning that precious trophy here. This is the second match for the day. It's between Team Shadow Esports and Team CRQ. It's going to be really interesting. All the teams have fought very hard to reach this point, and they're just 3 steps away from achieving the prize pool. This is me, Zita, your caster for the match, and my co-caster, Sasuke. Hi, Sasuke.
My friend, welcome back again. And you said 3 steps away. It's looking quite close, but still it's quite far. Cause man, just when we think like, hey, they're quite closer to the winning, or each of the teams, like the competition is quite tough. Cause even in the first game, we saw like Godlike versus IGN, the battle was fierce. In the end, Godlike came on top, but with a 2-1 victory into the game number 3, it was anyone's game, and IGN nearly pulled itself on the verge, like, hey, they could win the game number 3 itself, but you got the point, right? It's just a fierce battle. And now once you enter this fierce stage, each steps you take or each steps you qualify into the upper rounds is way too much pressure. And right now we are having Shadow Esports versus CRQ, one of the greatest fights you can ever ask for between these two teams. Cause just like we talk about SHUL and Godlike, these two teams have also the similar kind of a banter that they want to prove themselves that, hey, even if we are the new kids on the block, we still have what it takes to cut you down and win no matter what.
Yep, that's true. The nerves are actually real here. Both the teams, like all the teams, have fought really hard to reach this stage. The quarterfinals, this best of three, will again be a knockout one, wherein if you lose, you're going home, and all the effort that you took in till today goes to waste. So nobody would like to lose here. And let's just jump into the draft here. That we can see Shadow Esports with the first ban. They're gonna be banning Marcel. At the other
I
hand,
am not
CRQ
the
bans
only one
Yuzong.
bound
Now,
by these
Yuzong is
chains.
definitely an interesting ban here. I thought the perma bans are going to be banned first from both the teams, but then again, Yuzong coming out of the blue is unexpected. Then again, Phobius is
Butterflies
getting banned
born
from
by
Shadow
thy
Esports,
wish,
and the
guided
counter ban
by
coming in from the
lantern's
side
light.
of Team CRQ would be Atlas. Now, Atlas I can understand, and there you go, Zushin. Zushin, one of the deadliest mages, and a Hirara ban. Except for Yuzong, they were all perma bans basically. But Sasuke, what do you think is the story behind that Yuzong ban coming in from CRQ?
I still got no clue unless and until the battle between these two teams goes like they have a history, right? They have fought the blades with each other in multiple tournaments, and this is why one of the reasons, like, hey, they got certain insights. Like, this is the kind of a thing. Like, hey, this hero could give us a trouble because it did in in previous tournaments. So they have the information regarding each other. So I think this could be a respect ban coming in from side of CRQ for the first pick. Eudora was quite open and left open untouched. Shadow Esports securing it right on point. Now on to the counters. I think like something tanky or something flashy that CRQ
Pakito is
would
still open.
A punch for a
maybe.
punch.
Oh, they go
There
with.
you go.
Never mind. Esmeralda alongside Alot is still open for the grabs onto the counter pick, but Pelric is there. I like it, but against Eudora, yeah, understandable.
Yeah, Belleric has been really deadly these days, recent days, wherein especially in tournaments we can see him being showcased with the conceal flicker ultimate, sudden surprise catching of five people at the same time. It's have worked wonders for teams. So he's been deadly, he's been potent in this meta. So it's good that CRQ secures them early. And just as we were
You are
speaking, Pakito
facing
is one of those other
justice.
deadly heroes there. And coming into the Shadows esports side, they pick Glue here. Okay, Glue is going to be slotting in the Rome slot, I believe, and maybe an Esmeralda here, or they would like to secure a marksman like a Claude or a Moskov here early on,
Night
so that
sky
CRQ
tells
is not able to
all.
ban them. Oh, they're gonna go for the Esmeralda here, so they would like to,
Interesting.
pick counters early on, as in they're
Mhm.
going to go for the complete counter draft for Team CRQ, I believe here. And then again, marksman is still open for CRQ as well. So their third pick could be a Claude or a Moscow, as we were discussing, or else they can still
Still
go for a
waters
jungler
run
here, an
deep.
early jungle pick, and exactly that happened, wherein they secure Link before Shadow Esports have a chance to pick or ban that hero. That was a nice secure coming in from the side of CRQ.
Yeah, I like the third pick coming in from side of CRQ, especially when you see these three deadly combination that Shadow Esports are cooking up. You go with the Esmeralda just to counter out the Paquito. You have
Need some
also
stitches?
the
I can
glue,
help.
which somewhat perfectly align well. Just because you have the early
Come
kind of a
on,
poke into the mid
Dexter.
lane, you
It's our
also want to get
showtime.
the same into the roam position. Maybe in the later phases of the draft, you can just cook up the similar strat hero into the jungle. Maybe a Yi Sun Shin. That's what I'm looking forward for. But if not Yi Sun Shin, I think a Suyo would be a viable choice
Pain
over here as
is the
well.
proof that I'm
Because they have
still alive.
the burst coming in alongside the stun and a constant poke from glue. They need someone to do the cleanup job. An assassin would be primary requirement just because it could just cop up with the link, split push, aggression, and also lane clear.
I've
I
been
mean jungle
waiting for
clearing
too
ability.
long.
Both the teams looking to reduce that marksman pool, which is available for
My
both of them,
kiss grants
as
you
four marksmen get
immortality
banned in a
or
row.
death.
CRQ now go for the safety pick of Alice, an EXP laner, I guess.
Yeah,
Wait,
it
okay,
Paquito is
that's
gold basically. You throw the Paquito into the
I
goal lane now. Yeah, it's viable choice, right? Because you have a
that makes
Udara, you
sense.
do not want to risk it out onto the marksman because no matter what, it's going to
They
be one
call me
shot,
a
right?
hero
The threat is
Yes,
because I
there.
saved
So
my
how do
nation
you
from falling apart.
nullify it? Just go with the Paquito. You already have the damage dealer, and since you have the glue under the front line, Alice will be next to immortal because The split glue he uses is basically healing multiple HP or giving him infinite amount of HP to Alice. There we go, Yi Sunshin
That
next
was
to
impressive.
again a good jungler. But for the final pick, they also need a gold laner. So I'm assuming if they could go with they go with Ruby, that is also a good option. But I was thinking maybe they can go with the Sora. I think Ruby works well better because of I am offended alongside the second skill, a constant stun, giving or pairing it up with the Mountain Shocker coming in from Yi Sun Shin works really well. Oldest trick into the book or oldest pair, you can talk about it. Plus, the late game potential that each team needs if they're going with a double fighter thing is the marksman. Either you pick up the Yi Sun Shin in the jungle or maybe a Kimi into the mid lane. That gives you very well coordination team. But for the final pick coming in from CRQ, they need a mage. They go with the god. I was hoping for a Kimi, but whatever you pick is going to be a 50-50 because you have a Eudora. So it's a safe pick for them to go with the god because seduce the Mystic Gush from far behind, and also the constant stuns and pokes will be there for disrupting the Shadow Esports frontliner.
Yeah, exactly. God's mystic projectile can stun people from far away with that bounce that he has, and also he pairs up really well with Alice and Beleric, I believe, because both the heroes can make a group. I mean, an area of the map stay still for at least a second or two, wherein his mystic gush can melt people away, especially with the lineup like Ruby, Esmeralda, and Glue. A very tanky front line from the side of Shadow Esports. Top tier competition here from both the sides. They show with their draft itself how good they are and why they are here today, and they are definitely going to give both the audience and us a treat to watch here. A lot to learn.
That's true. But Loki, I kind of like the draft coming in from Shadow Esports just because of the Lee Sunshine pick. They have the potential, scaling kind of a thing. The insurance of a late game again. The poke coming in from Eudora while he's trying to poke as much as he can to the Beleric. Oh, the jabs coming in from Paquito.
Create a nice damage here. Glue, with the help of Stick, will be able to help their team pick a kill onto Paquito there. Paquito goes down. Early blow for the side of Team CRQ there. Bulbasaur fight there, as I like to call that. Bulbasaur here. Now Beleric seems to be in trouble. That chain lightning of Eudora proving to be deadly for the side of Team CRQ. They would be wondering why they didn't ban Eudora earlier instead of banning Yuzong there.
It's either a Yuzhong or a Eudora. They gamble it out onto Yuzhong. Perhaps they don't want the default to run onto the Yuzhong because I think they might have a nightmare about defaults Yuzhong. Oh yeah. I do have the intel that he is quite confident on the Yuzhong. So that's why a respect ban coming through. But again, to be over to the Paquito, the damage is there. It's just the frontliner. Oh, into the bottom.
Okay. In the turtle, they get a kill onto that Glue. Glue goes down that easily. God gets that kill. Team CRQ now have the advantage towards the turtle, where they can start early and Glue is not there to zone them out. Team Shadow Esports again does not want to do anything with the turtle as of now. Eudora going in, trying to secure, but she will get stunned instead. And now she looks into trouble as Link dives down onto her, contests the blade, and he picks up a kill onto Eudora there. Now then, Glue also seems to be in trouble. That he went in to support that Eudora, but he would be able to escape comfortably there. He goes back. Yes.
That's true. Overall composition like CRQ, they grab 2 kills on the road alongside the turtle, which they lost the first blood alongside the early aggression. Now the turtle, they are back in fight alongside the kill early on before the turtle. It was super important and they utilized it onto its perfect extent again. Little Wanderer contest, I think Eudora threat is constantly there. Shari needs to look out for it. There's the Wrath of Riot.
Yep, and Glue with that stick helps them pick up a kill. Double kill actually onto Ruby as well. Ruby goes down. Ruby goes down as well as Beleric there. So equal trade here, just all invested onto that Litho contest. Both the team are head to head with each other there. Here's a trade. Here's a trade. Here's a trade. And the
I mean-
gold lead is not really, that significant. It's ignorable currently. Both are going head on head. Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think so the goal lead matters because, both the teams have chose to go with the Brawly composition. You can see, like, both the fighters. One has a damage under the goal lane while the other is a crowd control option. So they're relying on Snape. Oh, this was the Harry Potter and now we have the Severus Snape. Never mind. Coming back to the game. It's just, that was just a delusional thought. But now, Sunset goes with a Forex. So yeah, overall, it's just the brawl composition happening all over the map. If overall the battle is between the mages and the jungler,
Okay,
Violet
Wrath of
might bring
Dryads
some
going
trouble.
in there. Okay, Glue was the only one who was in that Wrath of Dryads there. He was able to tank it out. Esmeralda comes in for the save. She takes some damage and goes back as Belric was able to, keep it at distance. Ruby here trying to zone people away from the turtle. Meanwhile, Ji Sun-shin in that bush. He will be going straight for the turtle. While meanwhile, the side of Shadow Esports be secure here. Belric seems to be in trouble. Glue uses his ultimate onto Belric. Belric flickers them out. Okay, Snape picks up a kill onto enemy Link there. That was a nice kill. Nice pickup there. Just before turtle. So Team CRQ Esports need to go back. They are not really going back there. God uses his Mystic Gust trying to pick up a kill there. Glue has been devastating there. Glue played really beautifully, by the way. Zoning them out, getting the kills for the side of Shadow Esports there. As soon as Ling went down, I felt like Team CRQ had to go
not
back here.
again.
Tempest of Blades going in, picks up a kill onto Eudora there. Will he get a double kill there? With the help of Pakito, Ling manages to secure a double kill and also a third kill onto the side of Team Shadow Esports there. Turtle spawns in. They're gonna get the turtle comfortably here, I believe, because of the retribution. But okay, Falling Star Light, Esmeralda manages to pick up a kill onto Ling there. But then again, Ling was able to use that retribution in time and secure the turtle for the side of Team CRQ.
Gets the turtle, but at what cost? Once again, he falls down, man. The constant pressure, the constant fight started with an objective to contest the second turtle, and it prolonged in such a way that CRQ lost the first condition of the fight. And
Yep,
like
and he
Shadow
came
Esports,
back.
like they had the opportunity to go and secure the objective while Ling just spawns back in, just jumps directly to the turtle area, secures a double into his name, and then once again falls down while they takes the turtle. Man, it's just
But
a
was that
trolley,
good
like,
though? Jungler dying twice for the same turtle?
yeah.
Was that worth it?
I really
I don't
don't know.
think so.
Maybe for the team, yes. Now the goal lead is actually equal. Yeah, it is somewhat equal. Just don't see the numbers. It's I don't know.
It's 1k difference. It's not that much. Team
I mean,
Shadow Esports still in
sometimes
the
it-
lead there.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like it's just 1k difference, but sometimes the numbers are unpredictable. Like what is 182k? I mean, never mind. Back to the game. Shadow is supposed to manage to take the bottom tier tower again. Esmeralda might be in some trouble. She runs out of the way while Pakito manages to tries to catch off Esmeralda or try to burst him down, but the shield is way too humongous. Now
Yeah,
they're
Shadow
looking forward
Esports, they're
for
trying to, get a kill onto that Pakito in the top lane, at least get that turret here. Falling Starlight onto that Pakito. Pakito tries his best to run away. Berrick comes in here for support. Wrath of Dryads coming out. I think Pakito will be able to run away there. He's almost trying to, but Glue uses his ultimate onto Beleric here. Okay, never mind. Team CRQ able to defend that Pakito and the turret with the same time, while managing to get the mid lane turret here. He's Sunshin doing that split push 4-1 job. Nice play by CRQ Esports. They're gonna go straight to the turtle where God uses his Mystic Gust to burst down the turtle as soon as possible. Ling will be picking up that turtle at least without any fight, without any casualties. So good job for the side of Team CRQ there.
It's true. Overall, in terms of neutral team, they're trying to grab whatever they can, and now look at the quick rotation, the split push, and the pressure that Lynx provides. It's lurking around in the bottom lane while the blue buff is just about to spawn. While Shadow is forcing, no, it's like, hey, you can actually make a better trade while taking off the top tier tower. that is about the time they go with a quick look at the itemization. Sharin has the blur burst of fury alongside House Close. We'll talk about that
Mystic
later.
Gush.
Wrath of Drives alongside the Mystic Gush picks up a kill. Esmeralda falls down, a 4v1 situation in the bottom lane, and now Sharin alongside the CRQ looking forward to penetrate deep into Shadow Esports Kingdom.
Yeah, I think that double death turtle secure did benefit the side of Team CRQ, because since then they seem unstoppable. They've been, doing really well ganks here, really nice trades. They in the top lane as well. They defended the tier 1 successfully. Meanwhile, Ling picks up the mid lane turret, the turtle, as well as the bottom lane turret. So Ling has been flourishing ever since, and there's no stopping Ling as of now. In my opinion, he's going for the top lane tier 1 as well. Meanwhile, Belleric keeps Esmeralda at bay, making
true.
sure that she does not extend there. So they're doing a fantastic job, in my opinion.
Well, we do know, like in proper team fight, Shadow Esports will be able to dominate just because of how brutal the damage is coming in from Snape itself. So Sharin decides to go with the 4-1 split, like he's trying to gain the itemization, he's trying to gain the map control with a constant split push and power he has with the jumping around the walls and with the Tempest of Blade if anyone tries to catch him off guard. And look at that, once again he's trying to pressure in the top lane. All of his team is able to pressure the other parts of the jungle. Default might be looking for some sinister plans, but basically it's just Link. Lord is spawned up. Now CRQ could look for the pleasant surprise. The long wait for the Lord dance is there. The far lane intercheck alongside the constant pressure of Ling can just go around split push. But Shadow Esports, they have the Mountain Shocker alongside Essential, so they can also go with the counter engage with the Mountain Shocker, revealing all the players of CRQ. If Ling is not present, they could just go all gung-ho and just the process, like, hey, the backliners do and deal the damage while they get 1 or 2 kills into the hands.
Yep, all 5 members of Team CRQ present here as a team fight bursts out, trying to pick off Yi Sunshin, who will be successfully able to retreat. Their glue seems to be in trouble, who was, going at the side there, trying to flank. Default then again comes from the top lane to the support here. There might be a fight beginning out. Wrath of Riots and Mystic at the same time manages to pick a kill onto Glue. Glue goes down. Yi Senshin goes down with the help of Tempest of Blades. Yin not stopping there, trying to pick off Eudora as well, but Eudora manages to escape with Flicker. But then again, Hovi comes in with that Flicker, picks up a kill onto Eudora. Their Shadow Esports need to retreat and regroup as 3 members of the side of Team Shadow Esports go down. Ling wastes no time, goes straight towards that first Lord. Kabuto, meanwhile, trying his best to escape from Esmeralda. With the help of his team, he will manage to do that safely. Ruby here, however, picks up a kill onto Tarp there. Tarp goes down. Retribution comes in and will take the Lord as well as a kill onto Esmeralda. Their beautiful plays coming in from the side of CRQ Esports.
So looking quite majestic. The all front lines, and the assist he gets in the backup he gets from the front liners of CRQ. Good position coming in from Belleric, and that's no name. I was able to think is the player's name? Is it not rendered or this is just blank? But yeah, never mind. They go with the Lord. Now CRQ is in total control with the Wrath of Threads. It's still available, but the Flicker is not there. So the surprise element, which you do with the Flicker combination and the Wrath of Threads, trying to taunt at least 3 to 4 enemies. Surprise element is not there, but the Lord is still available. Snake under control. Now look at the into mid lane. Mystic Gush being used alongside the Wrath of Threads.
Okay, Kabuto goes down here. Actually, Glue with that stick going on to directly God. So God goes down there, unfortunately. But for the side of Shadow Esports, then again Esmeralda and Eudora are down. I mean, Madara are down. Not Eudora. I'm so sorry about that. Inhibitor turret for the bottom lane goes down as Lord marches in. That's no stopping there. Even though that was a very good team fight initiation from the side of Shadow Esports, they were unfortunately not able to pick as many kills in exchange of Kabuto there. Exchange of 2 people of the side of Team Shadow Esports there. I mean, So two people went down, even though they managed to pick up a kill onto God there, and they were not able to defend that quite effectively. I think they need to calm down and get a better goal lead here, because I still think that Yi Sun Shin might be able to change the game for them. Just allow him some time out, and Rat of Riot coming in will pick up a kill onto Eudora there. Eudora unfortunately gets caught. Ruby trying her best to escape. Okay, there might be a Mystic Gush coming out, and just as I speak, Mystic Gush does come out, but it was unfortunately a bit late, and Team Shadow Esports will retreat safely there. Esmeralda doing a brilliant job, by the way, poking in and out, not losing HP at all. Pakito will go in burst. Pakito will go in burst. Esmeralda forced to run away there. Glue going in, trying to pick up a kill onto that Pakito who was running away. Now Glue seems to be in trouble as he's alone between 5 people. He's trying his best to run away. Meanwhile, the side of Team Shadow Esports will be defending that sync lane that came out from the side of Team CRQ, from the right side there. So especially, even though Glue is in trouble there, he managed to buy some time for their side so that they can defend there, or else that might have also been the last push here. But they again are in disadvantage as the second Lord spawns in. Team CRQ already in that formation near Lord. Belric doing his job, scouting out where Yi Sun Shin is and keeping him away from that Lord. And Ling will secure that Lord without any trouble.
That's true. No, overall, Shadow Esports, like you mentioned, they do have the opportunity, but it's just that Dark with the surprising ultimate alongside Flicker, and also Pelric Wrath of Triads is just too much for Shadow Esports to handle. Because if Madara is trying to engage or Ruby is trying to pick someone out, whether it is Belric, whether it's Alice, or any goddamn frontliners from CRQ, as soon as either of the members like Belric or Alice sees the opportunity, they are instantly using down their ultimates, and then is a green signal for God alongside Sharin to use all of their resources to poke down the members of Shadow Esports, and boom, that is a turn away point for CRQ. They need to look out or maybe split away some resources, because defaults needs to be the chopping block or the sacrificial lamb, I used to call it. He needs to be that and try to make sure he sacrifices himself chasing Kabuto all along while Ruby kidnaps 2 to 3 members away. Once again, the engage comes in.
With the help of Mystic Gush coming in, at the same time falling Starlight from Esmeralda there, trying to pick off that God, as you were saying. Okay, Tempest of Blade goes in as well. Unstoppable for Sharon. Unfortunately, he goes down as Aurora will be picking up that kill. Just as we were speaking, just as you were saying, Esmeralda did the same thing, wherein she's chasing down that God, and to protect that God, CRQ have invested both Belric and Pakito at the same time, but they unfortunately couldn't. That was a nice defense coming in from the side of Team Shadow Esports there, because they were successfully defend there, also take kills that will help with their gold and their morale as well, as they are man up there. Okay, falling Starlight onto Belric. Belric will almost go down. Nope. Flicker Wrath of Dryads here, trying to pick off that Yi Sun Shin, but Yi Sun Shin will be immune. He is that annoying. And Pakito here actually sneakily picks off a kill onto Eudora there. So that's devastating. As one of the damage dealers of the side of the main damage dealers of the side of Team Shadow Esports is down. Meanwhile, CRQ lose their tank, who was initiating for them really beautifully. But then again, Alice can do the same job if they want to finish here. But they are gonna retreat and regroup for now, as both the sides have suffered casualties.
Yeah, that's true. It's better to wait 25 seconds more, because the Lord will be coming up soon. And since they have the fall in under check, first and minion pressure will be there. So it's a better and safe option to go with the Lord. And that is assumable what CRQ are planning to again. Oh, Mountain Shocker quite used quite early, I believe. 10 seconds.
Maybe not.
You don't have the Mountain Shocker, so the position, which is very crucial at this point, will not be available. And quick look at the atomization. Eudora have already made quite a lot of burst items. Dark might be in some trouble, not really. Esmeralda is on to her, but constant healer will be there. Sunset looking for some pickoffs to be in a better situation, trying to flank the enemies. away.
Yep,
The falling
falling
star
starlight.
onto the Kabuto.
God chased away by Esmeralda, but Esmeralda seems to be in trouble here. But with the help of Sprint, she will be able to escape there. Very good job by Team Shadow Esports delaying that Lord here till they get a better positioning to that is because Team CRQ are steadfast. This is the third Lord. This can be deadly here. This is a powered up Lord. This might be the final push that CRQ need to end this. They're going for the Lord Straton. Meanwhile, Alice is doing a fantastic job zoning in there.
Oh.
Ruby goes in. Ruby unfortunately is squishy. Mystic Gush will come out with the help of Wrath of Dryads and Alice's ultimate as well. But unfortunately, for the side of Team Shadow Esports, it's going to be just too much for them. Ling goes down here. Ling did an excellent job, by the way. He managed to separate the damage dealers, the back line of Team Shadow Esports away when the side of Team CRQ were picking up that kills on the front line of Team Shadow Esports. With the lack of that front line here, it's going to be tough for the side of Team Shadow Esports to defend this wave that is going to be coming with the Lord. Yep, Falling Starlight here with the help of Winter Trencher actually will pick up a kill onto Viola there. But again, that masterclass. Jisun Shin manages to pick up a double kill here, balancing it out, chasing the side of Team CRQ away into the safety while Glue and Ruby respawn. Now they're able to defend Lord without any problem.
That's true. One major mistake coming in from CRQ, and now Shadow Esports are still being able to hold down this third Lord. Minions will be marching down, but that is a-okay because the mid inhibitor still barely survives with just a teeny tiny amount of HP. The members of CRQ, they need to pair up and engage as a unit. Like, they have a massive crowd control, they have the re-initiate or re-engage or counter-engage kind of the abilities and also the heroes. It's just that they are missing. I think there is some sort of argument that basically they're not on the same page. Like, hey, we should use resources melting down this particular hero. Maybe not. That seems to be a bit trouble for CRQ in previous two fights. That is causing down a big hurdle alongside Esmeralda. Default is soaking up a lot of damage coming in from Kabuto and might be in trouble. 4 members lurking around. This might be it. Once again, shield is there. Falling Star Wound, maybe not. Sprint pin used. Default trying to gain as much as time as possible. Falling Star Wound on 4 members. Madara is there alongside Dark coming in. Mystic Gush forced away. God might be in some trouble. Snape, use the wand, secure the kill. Default goes down. As Toby punch him into the heavens, Might Sharin falls down. Immortality being used alongside Winter Crown. He hops on the wall onto the escape flanks. But Toby is there punching around like a mighty boxer. Goes on, starts in, might be in some trouble. Dark comes again. Wrath of Tride's been used.
I think that was brilliant by Ling there. Sharon did a fantastic job using that immortality and Winter Crown to survive, and he comes back, tries to pick up a kill onto Glue there. Glue will go down here with the stick, will not be able to help him. Even Default did that fantastic job. Pakito chasing him, trying to pick that off. That was a really prolonged fight here. Esmeralda with that falling star left. Moon and Eudora will manage to pick up those kills, and Sprint is not Sprint actually. The movement speed helps her to escape. She's still alive even after so much trying from the CRQ. She is surviving everything and she seems to be unkillable here, but Ling will finally pick up that kill and Esmeralda will go down. I actually thought that was the end for Esmeralda there, but with the help of Eudora, but unfortunately Eudora sacrificed herself for that thing. CRQ 4 members still alive, only 2 members for the side of Team Shadow Esports. They should capitalize on this and end with this minions, or else the side of Team Shadow Esports is going to be respawning here. Jisun Shin will go down. God helps to do that perfectly. Here comes Glue. This might be the final thing here because Glue seems to be in a lot of trouble. Wrath of Riot coming out. Mystic Gush also here onto that Glue, but Glue will use his ultimate to survive that. Okay. An insane region here from the side of Team Shadow Esports here. just that
That's
Team
true.
CRQ are not able to find any answers for it, even with that anti-heal. Because if you see, Ruby is one of those regenerating heroes. Clue is the same, Esmeralda is the same, and anti-heal proving it to be not enough. And Team Shadow Esports showing brilliant tankiness, to be honest.
Maybe if the fights prolong, the constant poke from Kabuto will be able to, burst them down, and also Ling has a lot of damage. Still lacking that C Albert, but that is okay because the rest of the members have it. Frederick with the dominant size, Paquito with the C Albert, and God with the glowing wand alongside the wishing lantern, the constant poke and the constant burn damage will be there alongside the slowness from the Ice Queen wand. So overall, the teams, the itemization that CRQ are holding on is quite good. Snape gets the War Axe, the crucial moment. One last push coming in from the side of CRQ with the super enhanced Lord Default's grab.
That coming out there. Mystic Dash will also be used to pick up a kill. Onto Eudora. Eudora goes down. Sharon picks up a kill onto Snape there. This seems to be it. This seems to be the final, because both the damage dealers for the side of Team Shadow Esports have went down. A comfortable double kill for Yi Shin there. Lord locking onto the base. Madara will also be going down, and that's going to be GG. Game number 1 secured by the side of Team CRQ there over Shadow Esports. And there you go. Really well played by both the teams. They showed exceptional strategies, proving and why they are at the top of this tournament here. Made it to the top 8 now in the quarterfinals. Really
I'm quite
exciting
not
to watch.
sure if you call the Brawly comp a strategy, but yeah, surely the draft was subsequently good. Just that the presence of Ling all over the map into the mid to late game proved it very mesmerizing and very threatful. Like the constant pressure that he was pulling out, while the rest of the teammates, they are just trying to defend tower hug, or make sure the minions does not enter the tower. So it was quite a good defense, while Sharon was able to grab a lot of itemization. In early, agreed, Shadow Esports, they had a perfect burst coming in. First blood was already in the hands of Wiley, and the rest of the things, it went as planned for them. It's just a matter of time that Sharin, he sensed it. Like, I am not quite strong enough to join the team fight, so let me split push and farm, while the rest of the teams could just focus on. Because if you look at the draft, like, hey, it's a 4v1 kind of a draft for either of the teams. Either Snape has to leave the team fight or join the split push that has been forcing from Ling, or else he needs to join the team fights and make some beautiful trades, but the trades were not there in the hands of Shadow Esports. And the constant push. First, they took out the mid tower, and then they went back to the bottom tower. The constant presence of Ling all over it was way too much for Shadow Esports to go about it. But yes, the draft coming in from both the teams were quite brawly, but it was a good draft in my opinion. Overall, I still believe like certain things, like they're looking or waiting for the Eudora to like bait up certain skills, and then Ling was using his perfect opportunity, like, hey, there is no skills available for Eudora, perhaps you could just mark him, because the rest of the members, you see, are busy focusing on the backliners or trying to catch the rest of the members of CRQ. So it gave them quite a leverage, because there was absolutely no one to protect down Eudora from the Wrath of Ling. You could argue like, hey, Ruby is there, she can use her skills, try to control Ling, and perhaps the cooldown reduction from Eudora will be there, so you could just link up the chain CC. But there is a Belric alongside Alice, who are constantly being a nuisance, constantly being the frontliner of for the side of CRQ, and that went really well. I hope in the game number 2 they could perhaps shift certain things, make sure they go with more of objectives this time again. Like, hey, the draft was too brawly, it could still have been better.
I agree with a lot of things there. At the start of the game number 1, I believe you said that you liked the draft coming in from Shadow Esports there. Do you think they lacked peeling ability, which the side of team CRQ had? The Shadow Esports draft consisted of a Eudora and a Yi Shin, both of which are more known for their burst ability more than
That's
the
true.
peel ability. Wherein
That's
the
true.
side of Team CRQ Esports, they had a god with that mystic projectile, mystic gush, and also a ling with that endless battle, even endless battle and Berserker's Fury's true damage. Link can consistently peel down some of the tanky, semi-tanky heroes there.
Mhm.
Do you feel like that team, wherein Shadow Esports then again had glue for that peel damage, wherein he'll slowly peel down the enemies, but it was just too slow for them maybe. So what do you think that Team Shadow Esports can do better in the next game going into the second game, especially in order to pick up that victory? Also, by the way, I believe I've casted for Shadow Esports' game in the previous round of 16, wherein they did come back. By the way, after losing the first game, so I do believe that we have that potential to do the same thing again in this round as well. So I strongly believe in that they make amends to what the mistakes that they did in this game and come back stronger. But what do you think will allow them to do so?
First of all, the lack of presence. Like in the early game, we saw that God was given a lot of space to farm, to burst down the damage, and also he was given quite a leverage to use the Mystic Gush without any contention. So that was a thing. Like you see a glue, and you believe like, hey, he is gonna be a nuisance. He's gonna jump onto the backline. He was trying to do so, but the constant the taunts and the slowness coming in from Alice alongside Belric was way too much for him to handle it. Perhaps the role of default was lacking, and I believe like it was just the lack of itemization that he was not quite confident, like, hey, whether I should go towards the backline because I don't have any defense, so I'll be melted down left, right, and center because Paquito is there. He's constantly trying to be a nuisance. He's hiding his presence, looking for a perfect flank opportunity or a perfect target, and then he's posting down his opponents quite wisely. So I think that kind of a thing or that kind of a pressure was there into the mind of default in the early game itself, which led God to gain a substantial amount of gold and itemization. Overall, into the early fight, still the first not something was not markable. Like there was no one who could reach him. Frontliners of CRQ were that strong. They're not able to let past anyone. Two of the crowd controls, Alice alongside Pelric, no one was able to reach. Not even the Falling Star Moon, not even Flicker I'm Offended or Goddamn Mountain Shocker. Nothing.
Yeah, in the early game, I believe Glue was trying to mark God. Then again, the switch strategies wherein Esmeralda went for God in the late game, which actually worked in their favor, I believe. So that Glue was able to, protect the backline, flank, and stop people who were engaging onto Eudora or Yi Senshin to say. So that was some good amendments that came from the side of Team Shadow Esports. But I also believe that going into the second match, I think that they should maybe focus to round off that composition while balancing out both burst and peel damages in their draft and ban Ling because Ling was a nuisance, and I don't think I don't think that Shadow Esports will be able to manage him for a second time as well because he was completely unstoppable. So let's just see as game number two's drafts begin. The first ban now comes from the side of Team CRQ. What do you think will be the ban for the CRQ here?
Maybe a Phobius, maybe a Paquito. I'm still willing that they will be actually panning out a Marcel or maybe a Eudora. There are a lot of options. Perhaps Yuzhong again. Maybe, Dark could perhaps pick a Yuzhong. I'm quite not sure. Like, he likes to play Arlot. He likes to play a Phobius. That's kind of his pick. Yuzhong is still into the arsenal, but he would preferably pick a Lapu Lapu over Yuzhong. But that is the kind of heroes he likes to go with. But again, for the Shadow Esports, you mentioned like, hey, maybe this time they could perhaps
Butterfly
look
is
over to the
born
link
by thy
ban.
wish, guided by
I
land
still
and
doubt it.
flight.
I still doubt it because they have
Different
a lot of heroes. They
perspectives
need to ban
expose the
Hirara. They need
same
to ban
truth.
Marcel.
3,
And
2,
alongside
1.
Phobius, if CRQ are leaving it open, which I think they will, if not a Phobius, they need to
Let
ban
them
out
play
the
the
Atlas.
hero.
So the threat
I will
potential
be
is
the
there, and
truth
once you're
this
on the
world
red side,
desperately
you need
needs.
to ban out those kind of heroes. So in this ban from the Shadow Esports is going to be Atlas or maybe a Hirara coming in, and either of the heroes into the third ban.
Yep, there you go, Hirara. I always confuse Hirara to Zushin because their portrait is almost similar, but yet
No,
both of
man.
them are banned at the same time, so no confusion for me.
That's quite convenient for you, but I see a lot of like they don't look alike, man. Come on, there's a lot of distinguished.
Maybe not, but here at least in the portraits,
Uh,
they confuse me a little. Then again, CRQ again banning that Yuzong there. They don't want to allow default on that Yuzong, which can prove deadly to them. As we were speaking in the first game as well, both teams have faced each other multiple times and
I am
don't
not
know
the only
what each
one
other's
bound
strengths
by
and
these
weaknesses are.
chains.
And one thing they know is that if you give Shadow Esports Yuzong, they'll probably win. So they're not going to take that risk and ban out Phobius here. And now it will be interesting to see from the side of Team Shadow Esports. I believe they should ban Pakito here because Team CRQ banned Phobius in order to pick Pakito, in my opinion. Then
it will be
again,
Atlas. It will be Atlas. 90%
yes,
sure.
exactly. Then again,
Yeah.
you can't leave Atlas out of the question. So out open to for CRQ to pick, so they have to go with that Atlas. Okay, they went
Oh,
with
they go with the
Beleric ban
Beleric.
instead. Okay, Atlas still open here on table for both of them. Will they pick Pakito here? Will they pick Atlas, or they will ignore Atlas? Is something to see here. And again, Marcel is also open, by the way, so you need to consider that as well. Okay, no. What am I talking? Marcel was the first ban from Shadow Esports. Marcel is not open. Glue here is open, so Glue is also a nice pick here.
Night
I don't think
sky
so.
tells
If
all.
Let's
you're
see
going with the
what they
blue,
are cooking.
you're,
Yep.
if they go with the blue CRQ, like Shadow Esports can instantly pick up the Esmeralda alongside something else.
What?
Atlas
Why
in
does it
there.
matter when? Why does it matter what we're speaking when they're not picking anything that I said? They went with Esmeralda here. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Please continue.
Understandable. They do not want to go with Atlas. Neither Yutora. Pakito is
Still waters
okay.
run deep.
You can just ignore it with while picking up the Esmeralda, but Shadow Sports responds it with the Uranus and a Ling. Interesting.
Uranus and Link, then again, still open Atlas and Pakito, something that we are crying for them to pick. I guess both the
Uh,
teams don't want to go with those heroes here. Uranus, again, I think is a really good option to lane against Esmeralda here. But then again, he won't be able to contribute too much in the team fight. So I
he'll be the
guess
front liner, man. Come on, like the strength of Uranus lies into his like passive, constant
mhm.
healing when he's been hit or he's been taking a damage. And the main thing that a Uranus player does is provide a lot of vision. So I'm expecting some kind of a. Okay,
Sir,
it's gonna be
what's your
Atlas for
command?
the side of Shadow Esports if CRQ does not pick it. But oh, I like the fan pick coming in from CRQ alongside the Pakito again,
You
once
should be
again to the goal
ashamed
lane,
for not
fanning
trusting
into the
yourself.
jungle. Shadow is supposed to lock Theodora once again. So the threat into the mid lane is still there, but the mobility is not.
Both the teams
Atlas
lack a
still
marksman.
open.
Yep.
Atlas still open, and now I think it will be banned out. If not, like I don't think so. Shadow Esports they could just go with what the mages ban. What are the potential options?
I think both the teams just forgot Atlas exists, by the way. That's the
Uh,
only thing that has happened
not
here
really.
because they generally, he gets insta banned. But then again, they had to pick the heroes that they wanted to secure beforehand. And both the teams actually do lack.
What?
Actually, CRQ lacks marks. I guess, again, Pakito is going to that gold lane. Both the
Yeah.
teams lack a roamer. So Atlas will come into their mind eventually, is what I was about to say. And then again, I was
Time to
confused
go to the
because
R&D
marksman
show
is also
for some
something, a gold laner is
fun.
also something that both the teams lacked. And then
Need some
it came into my
stitches? I
mind that
can
Pakito is
help.
the gold laner.
That's true. CRK in the
I
final
didn't
ban.
cure the
I'm
pain.
thinking like they could
I
ban out
harness it.
Akufra, because that will be a
Your
really good
fear is
ban.
not just our home.
They go with the
Yeah,
Atlas. Never mind. So
and pick
Shadow
up a Kufra
Esports,
maybe.
yeah, maybe not this pick. After this one, for the final pick, make sure that the CRQ picks a lot of blinks again. But the Valentina ban came into the handy. I like it because Shadow Esports, they're bound to go with the heavy crowd control. Maybe Atlas is banned out. So maybe a Minotaur, but that won't suffice the need. I'm still thinking of a Kufra because it will eventually work out because
That
you have a
tail's
front
been itching
liner.
for a
Go
real
with the bouncy
fight.
ball alongside Turret Pitch, and yeah, never mind. They go with the Kalia alongside one of the good hero to pick off. Now you have the Uranus, you have a constant vision of the enemies.
Yes, and the last two picks for the side of TRQ will be a roamer and a middle laner here. Now, the options for the side of Team CRQ still are open, as in a Minotaur maybe, or even um, just as we were discussing, a glue maybe because glue is still open as a roamer there, and he might also pair really well into
Do you
them.
want to make
Um,
friends with Nana?
It's gonna
from
be
the
Gatot
looks
Kacha.
of it, okay, that's something refreshing, very refreshing to see. Nana has not been picked in a long time, and it's going to be very refreshing to see Nana back into the meta.
Okay. Never mind, we've been yapping about Kufra. Not for Shadow Esports. CRQ will probably prioritize it, and I think it's a good way to counter out the Tempest of Blade and the Defiant Sword from Ling. But again, overall, I still believe could it cancel out the jump coming in from Kalia? I think it can, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
But then again, the knockup coming in from Kalia will cancel out Kufra's ball. So it's a tie there. But it's actually a nice pickup for the side of Team CRQ. It will actually help them, at least keep Ling in check. In if he slips onto the back line, they have that necessary crowd control. The carry will be rounding out the draft for the side of Team Shadow Esports there, and that's it. That's the draft for game number 2 from both the teams. You can see an Esmeralda and Paquito Golden. With Paquito, jungle will be Fanny, the mage, a refreshing pull, Nana, and Kufra roamer for the side of Team CRQ. A carry, Kalia, Eudora, Ling, and Uranus for the side of Team Shadow Esports here. Just based on the drafts, who do you think has the upper hand going into the game number 2?
if you're talking about the early game, CRQ, just because of the Fanny and the threat potential that Paquito puts into the goal lane itself, carry seems to be a viable option. But again, if you're not able to survive the early game itself, and you're not able to farm the early game itself, it's basically a useless pick. And I get the point. Like, hey, Shadow Esports, you're trying to go with the pick of composition, trying to pick one of the members and burst it out with the Udaras or ultimate, and maybe carry will be the up for trying to help him melting out. Alongside Ling will be just jumping onto the back lines, but you're lacking around a massive crowd control option. Uranus cannot provide it, and that is a big factor that Shadow Esports need to look out for in this particular game itself.
Yeah, true that. The early game advantage Team CRQ definitely has it, especially in the gold lane here. I think Paquito tower dove in, trying to get some damage over to carry, but unfortunately he couldn't. He will retreat there in the mid lane though. Okay, Eudora seems to be in trouble here, but with the chain lightning damage, it will be Shadow Esports who would be picking up that first blood here. Tarek goes down. Overstepping, maybe. Eudora with the use of her... Okay. I guess there is another kill here. Kalia going in. Madara doing his best, trying to give a setup for the side of Eudora here. Madara will eventually go down here. Kabuto again providing that crucial support here. Fanny has one of the kills for the side of Team CRQ here. It actually
1-for-1 trade,
51,
but overall, Shadow Esports seems to be in a better picture for the early game itself. But the game proceeds. Shadow Esports, they need to look out for a perfect engage. Oh, once again, jump, but the damage coming in from Fanny is way too much. While it falls down, and that's a double kill for Sharon. And it picks up once more.
Sharon seems to be unstoppable, man. Give him Ling, give him Fanny. Both actually are very similar heroes here, but he's doing a brilliant job, dealing that damage for the side of Team CRQ here. he will do that. He will retreat the turtle. The first turtle of the match spawns in. Both the teams, gathering around, trying to get that. Oh, okay. Uranus there wanders off towards Nana. Calling Starlight here actually going on to the turtle here. Dark seems to be almost picking up a kill onto Madara. Yes, Madara does go down here. Okay, Tempest of Blades coming out as well with the help of Retribution. Snape would be able to secure that turtle here. Meanwhile, Team CRQ will be backing down. Okay, Kufra I thought almost retreated, but Ling's ability to go over the walls, jump over the walls and catch up pretty quickly. Kufra goes down as well. Meanwhile, actually, if you see the HPs, Pakito seems to be struggling in front of Carry. Okay, he will go down just as we were speaking about it. He will pick up a kill onto the Carry. Carry goes down inside her turret itself. And yep, that's again a nice pickup from Shadow Esports there. Okay, Kufra diving in, using his ultimate to pick off with the help of Nana. Eudora goes down. Now, the side of Team Shadow Esports needs to be really careful there. Viole can expect a jump from Kufra from anywhere, so she always has to be wary of bushes and try not to extend without Kalia there. Madara, okay, Falling Starlight going in onto Carry with the help of Pakito, will pick up a kill very quickly, will try to retreat here. Uranus ganking all the way from EXP lane, trying to maybe get a kill here. Okay, he actually followed Esmeralda. Esmeralda is also here. The Dark is also here. The insane damage coming in from Esmeralda early game will be eventually help picking up a kill onto Kalia there, and she goes down and Tempest of Blades going in. The brilliant burst damage coming in from Pakito will repel the side of Team Shadow Esports to go back, and eventually both the teams retreat here.
That's kind of a true, but the prolonged team fight did came to a stop. Once again, CRQ does hold the upper hand in terms of gold lead, even though that is just a minor scrap of gold. But once again, Ling is trying his mighty force to just steal once again. Crab jump coming in from Kalia. Tsunami Slam not quite there, but Pakito might be in some trouble. Madara picks off the kill. That is the advantage Shadow Esports are having in the turtle area. With the Retribution, I think it will be an easy peasy lot, but look at the sneaky fan. He's trying to take the buff away, and he successfully did it. Link does not have a glimpse of what actually happened in the top jungle area. The surprise element is there. He gets to know that some sneaky assassin stole his buff, and now look at the bottom lane. Sunsin was ganked twice. Now he's been able to help her to farm it out. That is a beautiful thing Shadow Esports needs to do. Again, a quick look at the itemization. Corrosion Scythe is there for Carry, but in 5 minutes, it's a-okay, but she still needs a lot of itemization. Madara looking for the engage. They do not have the Tsunami Slam, maybe. Oh, jump coming in from Kufra is there.
That gang coming in. Yep, Kufra goes in, tries to stun Viole there with the flicker though. Nana unfortunately catches her. Fanny goes in, picks up a kill onto the Ling who was retreating there. A mega kill for her. Okay, that team fight was fruitful. The other side of Team CRQ there, almost getting Viole as well. That Nana coming in clutch. But then again, Sansan will be securing that tier 1 very easily, wherein the side of Team CRQ will be backing off there. I think they're still prioritizing that 4-1 formation, wherein Fanny will go to an off lane and the other 4 will stay in the team fight. That's the same strategy that is being followed by Shadow Esports there as well. Fanny will come in, flank in, do a lot of damage here. Shut down onto the Fanny, unfortunately. Yep, killing. Okay. Nana doing her job, but the burst coming in from Shadow Esports is just too insane. What just happened there? I believe Madara used his ultimate onto Fanny to pick up that kill, or you may be able to explain it better.
Yeah, it was exactly what actually happened. Once again in the mid lane, Uranus trying to be a nuisance. I don't know why we are saying a Ling in action, trying to constantly farm, but yeah, now the thing, now the fight is over. I couldn't actually explain what actually happened. Burst damage from Sharin was there, but you know, it picks up, Madara picks up alongside the Tsunami Slam, and the burst damage from Wile was there, more than enough to bust Fanny out of the picture. And that actually happened while 2 of the members of Shadow Esports were fallen down. So overall, taking pretty decent fight, but in the long run, They need to protect Sunset and make sure that he gets the relevant item once again. He's down once more, and now Default joined the party. The Molina threat from Nana is there, and the burst damage. Madara once again is going to be using the Tsunami Slam. Not quite yet.
Nana
Burst
putting in
damage
that
are
work
not
with
quite
Molina, yeah.
Yeah.
And the second turtle actually will be secured by Team CRQ without a problem, because Team Shadow Esports are not, looking to contest there, especially with Carry pushing that top lane first, tier 1 here. Okay, Turtle was not actually damaged because Fanny was not near the Turtle. Esmeralda doing her best to, do as much damage as possible. Fanny will clear out that Turtle immediately. Their Default now maybe out of position, but he will be able to tank it very comfortably there, and also set up a counter push here because Madara is here now. And the Kufra's beautiful ultimate paired up with Pakito will deal insane damage. Madara will use his ultimate onto Fanny, but Fanny will be able to pick up that double kill there again with the help of Eudora there. Dark goes down unfortunately, but Ling, yep. Almost looked like Ling will be going down, but he picked up a kill onto Fanny there, who was dominating, pick up a double kill for the side of Team CRQ there. Okay, just as this team fight was happening, okay, go. Nice jump coming in from Kufra there. Nana a little late, Ling will be able to escape. Okay, just as that fight was happening in the bot lane, Eudora and Carry, I believe, were able to pick up a kill onto Dark there. That was just unfortunate for the side of Team CRQ, wherein Dark got caught off guard. Nice comeback. I think Shadow Esports is building up here. All 3 tier 1s down for the side of Team CRQ here. Ling doing an amazing job pushing that off lanes here, keeping Carry in check, to be honest. And Carry, I believe, is concentrating more on team fight and damage dealing as of now, because Nana does Nana magic, especially when it comes to late game.
I believe it does, but everything needs to be perfectly set up. Like the Molina, the 3, basically the ultimate coming in from 3 steps, it needs to be perfectly aligned alongside the first skills. So, if any of the skills is missed out, the burst damage that you expect from Nana will not be that visible. But overall, the crowd control and the burst is there. If you pair it out with the rest of the members, yeah, you will see the burst potential from the side of CRQ as a team. But to execute it is something that they need to make sure is happening. Madara again, once again, looking forward for the potential pickup. It's been Molina, okay, trying to go for the Tsunami Slam, and now he's in some dire situation. He picks up Kufra, not the really best target. The bouncy ball is there. First damage coming in from Toby will be more than enough. Lynx joins the fight. So does the Fanny. He picks up a kill onto the Toby. Tempest of Blade being used just to evade the Cutthroat and the Stinging Cables.
That fight was something a bit confusing for me, because both the teams had a trade and they just retreated. Meanwhile, Shadow Esports going in for the Lord there. Kufra still alive, but barely. Uranus goes and tries to pick up that kill. Kufra uses his ultimate, and the damage from Nana almost steals it. But it makes CRQ vulnerable to taking objectives like Lord, because they don't really have a marksman there. They depend a lot on Fanny to do that, because Pakito is not able to do the same damage. Shadow Esports, meanwhile, have the advantage of having a marksman to melt down those objectives really fast, and that's exactly what Carry does after that confusing team fight that happened, wherein both the teams had 1-1 picks. Carry locks on straight onto that Lord and manages to burst down that immediately. Meanwhile, Team CRQ was not able to compete.
That's true, and now Sunset has the Trinity been made up. It's going to be a big trouble for CRQ, so Fanny needs to lock down the priority over to the marksman, else it is going to be a fatal thing for the side of CRQ. But how could he do so? Madara is always lurking around nearby Sunset, making sure he is able to protect and also violate. So these 3 members, they are constantly sticking together one way or the another. Now, Madara looking forward for the engage, maybe not.
Madara is doing a brilliant job clearing that bushes, making sure that nobody comes out of the bushes suddenly. Kufra preparing in for the jump there, trying to check bushes. It's just Madara, so he will be retreating there. charging up those Thunderbolt stacks. Kufra becomes really tanky after that Thunderbolt stack up, to be honest, and he's one of those heroes who favor Thunderbolt favors. Um, there might be a team fight coming here because the Lord was defended successfully here. Kufra picks up Madara there. Madara seems to be in trouble. He will use the ultimate there. Kufra goes in, almost gets picked up. Ling joins the fight here using Tempest of Blades. Will be able to pick? Yes, he will be able to pick up a kill onto Kufra as well as Esmeralda that went in to, try and help Kufra bail out. But unfortunately, both of them go down. CRQ seems to be in trouble, losing their front line here. It's just Fanny, Paquito, and Nana there.
That's true.
Unfortunately, the waves were not synced good enough, so CRQ was able to manage that. And I believe Dark and Kufra will be spawning soon.
Yeah, they will be. One thing is certain that Shadow Esports are taking the advantage when they see Fanny onto the far lane. Oh, once again, Stun is there alongside the Flicker Cultivate. Madara secures a kill over the flying assassin. Sharon goes down, and that is a big lead for them. And
Yeah,
make sure the Flicker is being used, but Tsunami Slam is still available. So, if one of the members try to overstep or overexceed, Shadow Esports will be able to punish them. Kufra charging in. Might be go for the initiation. Maybe not. Default
They
spots
won't.
a lot of members.
Because there is no Fanny for them to, deal that damage in the team fights precisely. So I believe they won't be taking in that fight there and will be retreating. The second Lord spawns in, and Shadow Esports wasting no time in capitalizing on it. Shadow Esports will be. I see them making a comeback here. There's again might be game with this game number 2 here, as game number 1 CRQ has won, and this eventually will go to game number 3. So it's going to be interesting to see who will win this match, because Shadow Esports again seem to have woken up and are dominating the side of Team CRQ.
I don't know about that, because this could be anyone's game. Because if you look at the emblem set, which is quite late to see, but I believe like Sunsin is the only one with the Purify, and if the rest of the members, the 4 other members, are being caught in this falling star moon alongside the jump coming in from Kufra, then it is going to be a devastating thing. Because they have the burst damage alongside the Nana. I know, like, it's not quite convincing. Like, hey, how could a Nana deal such massive damage? But it still can. She has the Holy Crystal alongside the Divine Glaive. Now maybe looking forward for what? Wishing Lantern perhaps? Or maybe Lightning Truncheon. Oh, while it goes down.
To deal so much damage, Lord enters the inhibitor's turret. He will take down the mid lane inhibitor and enter the base here. Team CRQ seems to be in trouble. Kufra goes in, tries to give a nice engage here. Madara will be using his ultimate to pick off a kill onto Esmeralda. Esmeralda goes down here, as well as Kufra, though Fanny trying his best to deal not almost all the damage here, and they successfully defend the Lord at least, but the inhibitors will suffer. All 3 inhibitors will go down here, and then again 3 members of the side of Team Shadow Esports still survive here, as well as CRQ. Fanny goes in, tries to pick up a kill, but he will be retreating as she sees Ling charging in to pick up that kill onto Fanny. Fanny will retreat as well, charge all the energy here, and Fanny's gain a little advantage being in their base, because all the sides they have walls and they can deal damage, but then again they become squishy and they need to play really carefully there, trying to avoid bursting away with that carry's damage. Actually, carry has the damage now that we were speaking in the early games. Just as we speak, she has a bounty on her head, and she has been pivotal for the side of Team Shadow Esports here. She's bursting around Kufra. Madara and Uranus have been doing an excellent job keeping enemies away from reaching carry and giving her that space to show that impact.
That's true. It's mainly because of Wile alongside Madara, because they know, like, hey, it's gonna be either Paquito or Fanny. Either one of them joins the party, Madara will just use the Tsunami Slam or to the Fanny, and Wile will just use the stuns onto the other members who are trying to jump, while Default is trying to provide the excellent vision. Paquito might be in a good spot over here. He recalls, may be able to try to burst down Sunset. Oh, he's in a actually good spot over here.
But
maybe
he
not.
won't be able. Why didn't he go? Why didn't he have a kill on to carry there? Maybe something that, for a reason that I don't understand. Kufra uses his ultimate, pins 3 people in. Pakito manages to still kill carry there. Okay, Madara uses his ultimate onto Fanny there. Fanny might go down, and with the help of Viole, Fanny will go down. This seems to be trouble as Ling is still surviving, and that kill
Kabuto.
damage coming in from him will be picking the kill. Yep, with the help of
Oh,
Uranus, he will be able to pick up that kill onto Nana. Nana was down there as well. Pakito and Kufra, the only surviving members for the side of Team CRQ here. This might be the final push here. Tempest of Blade coming out. Kufra being melted out like nothing there. Pakito trying his best to clear those minion waves, but he will be bursted down as well. And the game 2 will be picked up by the side of Team Shadow Esports. A really nice comeback being able to see there from the side of Team Shadow Esports there. They pick up the game number 2. This will be 1-1 and the match will be going into the game number 3. Great domination. I believe Nana was not able to shine as brilliantly as Viole did, the Eudora did in this match. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that well for Viole in the first match with Ling constantly pressurizing. But this game turned out to be really good for her. I mean, her or him. Yeah, complete domination actually. As soon as Ling had his items, he went dominating. They might really consider banning Ling because whichever team seems to pick Ling now is automatically winning there.
maybe, man. I still don't know, but into the game number 3, it will be, Shadow Esports on the blue side. So they have the advantage. Maybe they once again go with the Eudora first pick, because into the game number 1, they did the same. Perhaps they could think of another way to counter out the Ling. Now, yes, and
Maybe.
Shen do really works, but it's again a 50-50 because Ling, the pressure, the split push pressure is more. And in team fights, yeah, you could arguably gamble that, hey, Yes and Shen, with the right tools and right heroes, could out-maneuver, out-position, and maybe outplay Ling itself if it does not have the Tempest of Blade, or if he's just for a fraction of seconds, it's been crowd control for a moment. The burst will from the Lee Shen will be there, but we saw the glimpse that it did not work just because Sharin did an amazing job of split pushing. But in the game number 3, yeah, you might be true that Ling needs to be taken care of. Maybe we'll be seeing Akaja once again, or maybe this Kalia pick once again. But overall, and it was fantastic. They did try to make sure that the carry was being checked into the early game. We did saw 0-2 Paquito quite being a nuisance, but it all fall down once the team started to play around carry, and it was just a turnover point because no one was able to touch him. Because even if one of the members tries to go near him, you get the tsunami slam, or you get a stun and a burst damage from Eudora. So everyone needs to launch a super duper attack. If and only if they fully commit onto the backline, especially the carry, then only they'll be able to survive. But the damage was way too humongous by the time they realized, like, hey, we need to start prioritizing the carry.
Yep, that is completely true. Talking about the impacts, we saw how impactful Ling was. We saw how impactful Carry pick was. We saw how impactful Kalia pick was coming in from Madara. What do you think Uranus contributed to that dynamic?
Quite really not sure, because in theory, on paper, it looks absolutely amazing because they do not have a massive crowd control. It was just that single target. Eudora, single target stun and a burst onto the single hero. Kalia, tsunami slam onto the one hero. You could argue about, like, hey, the second skill does AoE, but it's just a little bit of space. You can just announce it. Into the XP lane, they had a Uranus. So I was hoping that CRQ, all 5 members would be able to charge it in such a way that they had one objective in mind, like kill the carry first and then disperse and kill the rest. While Sharin was doing an amazing job, every time he was the one to first engage, and that is not the thing that you like to go for. Like, I agree that Esmeralda was there trying to provide a vision, but I still believe like the composition that they are trying to go for is was not being seen.
Yep, like their bans as usual. Going to game 3, Uh, Zushin will be banned here, and CRQ Esports have one ban. I believe that would be something like Phobius or Marcel, some basic bans that perma bans that they need to go off in this meta. Uh, Surprised, I believe might we might actually see a Ling ban
Let
coming
them
here
play
because
the
both the teams
hero.
don't want
I will be the
Ling to go
truth
to
this
each other.
world desperately
Um,
needs.
but they still will CRQ will still you know prioritize on banning Yuzong before Ling because they might be able to deal with a Ling but not Yuzong from the
I
side of Team
didn't
Shadow
cure the
Esports.
pain. I harness it.
It's really respect, man. I really appreciate it. But now we are seeing a shift in ban's priority. Shadow Esports banned out the Valentina. So maybe they're planning to go and pick away the Atlas cause or Marcel. I don't think so. Marcel will be left open. So it will be majorly the Atlas will be left open.
Either Atlas or Belerik maybe.
Different perspectives
Um,
expose the
maybe,
same
but
truth.
Atlas seems to be more
3, 2,
convincing.
1.
'Cause you have the Fatal Links and you also have the Frigid Glacier, the passive, to constantly slow around and freeze around the enemies, and that would give a big opportunity for the rest of the teams to deal the damage. Maybe poke the itsy bitsy things to the frontliners, and that will give the Shadow Esports a big leverage for the final ban.
Sir,
Yep,
what's your
but then
command?
again, we saw in the last game, Atlas was priority pick for neither of those teams. They would actually like to secure the junglers here. Shadow Esports banning Fanny there, and CRQ Esports now might as well ban Ling there because
Uh, I don't
both the
know, because
teams could be
Hirara is
really
left open
struggling.
again.
Yeah, exactly, and change the dynamic by picking Hirara actually.
Still a lot of heroes are open, like for the first priority you can go for the Atlas, you can go for the Hirara. Quite not sure about the Link first pick, but you can always go with the Eudora first pick again.
True, Eudora might get banned actually.
A
Eudora
lot of
ban opens
options.
both Ling and Hirara to be open, and both of them could be deadly. Something new to see,
They
actually.
go with
And
the
yep, they
Hirara.
actually ban Hirara. They end up banning Hirara. I guess Shadow Esports will not waste any time picking in that Eudora here instead of any other hero. Or it was a nice strategy from CRQ. Give Shadow Esports Eudora and pick Ling for themselves because Ling seems to be the pick of the junglers tonight in this match at least. Um,
Mhm.
maybe not. Team Shadow Esports taking their sweet time thinking about this.
Still waters run
Even
deep.
Belaric's open actually.
Oh, they
They
go with the
themselves will,
Link.
yep, they themselves secure the link here. CRQ have the opportunity to pick both Beleric and Eudora for themselves here.
The
That
ocean
would
is
be
not
interesting
just our
because,
home,
okay, they go for
it
Atlas. There
is
you
who
go.
we
Atlas will finally a
are.
priority pick for
I
actually a
am a
team.
daughter of
And
Northern
that's nice to
Vale.
see
I
because
swear to
Atlas might be
protect it to my
dominating here.
last
Oh,
breath.
do you really want to go Freya this early? Because Phobius is open, Esmeralda is still open. Both of them counters really well, especially to the Freya. I agree that Toby likes to play Freya a lot,
Mighty
and
oath
since
from
it's a do or
little
die
acorn
situation for
throne.
them, I'm quite not sure on that. Shadow Esports secures the Pelric, a good counter for both of the heroes, especially the Atlas and the Freya. So even if the Valkyrie Descent is used alongside the Fatal Links, Wrath of Triads will be there to count it down.
Chivalry is
Calm it down.
dead,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I will
Absolutely.
revive it.
Shadow Esports actually pick up Clint, one of the lesser seen picks in the
You should be
marksman
ashamed for
pool,
not trusting
in the current
yourself.
meta at least. They will be securing Ling on, sorry, I mean, they will be securing Clint on priority here. That's surprising. I actually thought they would be going for the Eudora, especially because it was open and it's not is usually Shadow Esports' first pick. But actually they went for Clint and CRQ actually pick up Eudora instead. So that's something to see. I believe, and Atlas actually with the Fatal Links, Eudora with that chain superconductor. I they beautifully pair up as well, but in order to do that, Beleric needs to be dead because Beleric won't be allowing that to happen. Both the teams playing really carefully here. Shadow Esports need a good EXP laner as well as a mage, wherein CRQ Esports need an EXP laner and a jungler. So CRQ would be dominant towards banning the XP laners here, the ones that are in priority. Pakito, which has still not been picked up, by the way, and also Glue. Glue can be an exceptionally XP laner, in my opinion.
Mm. I agree.
Shadow
You
Esports, on
still
the other hand, yep.
you still
I
like
am
to
not the
pick
only one bound
glue
by
a lot.
these
I agree, but
chains.
still believe there are a lot of plenty other options, and now CRQ ban out of Phobius is arguably one of the good bans. If you want to go with Freya once again, maybe
Gaze upon
they
the
want to
edge
go and
of the
ban out the
void.
Esmeralda. I don't know. I mean, it's not a
Night sky
mandatory
tells
ban, but they
all.
can still. Oh yeah, never mind. They'll still ban it out, making sure that Freya will have an amazing thing. No
Yeah,
counters. So yeah, and Shadow Sports ban out of Paquito. That's
yeah.
doable. But what's left? They need a marksman unless and until they're winning to throw the Freya into the goal lane, and that is doable because you have the Atlas, you have Eudora. Two of the heroes that would work really well with these two heroes will be Guinevere or E Sunshin once again, because the Mountain Shocker, Fatal Links, and the Valkyrie Descents
Maybe a
sounds
Suyu.
really good.
Actually, I also see a Suyu being made here, because Suyu also will be able to be as mobile
Pain
as a Link
is the
there,
proof that I'm
to
still
dodge
alive.
and stop his split pushes. But CRQ will prefer on locking in a Brody here. So that confirms that CRQ is planning on playing Freya in the EXP lane instead of the gold lane. And Brody becomes a nice pick against Clint in
Ling.
actually that lane.
Along
Actually, Ling as well,
with
yeah.
Ling, yeah,
Yeah, Ling as
it's basically just like the second skill you can just stun and evade away with tormented memories. I think that's the ultimate name, but never. Oh, the Parats. Dino, Dino Man comes into the Andy. I think it's gonna be the XP lane. Freya versus Parats into the XP lane. Quite good.
Yep,
But
Barats
what a
will be
fun
Gaze
pick.
unkillable
into the
actually. He
abyss.
would be poking her
Uh-huh.
The
continuously,
abyss stays
and she would
silent.
also have nothing else to do, and that would last a long time. But then again, it also gives an option for Shadow Esports to have as a tank, a secondary tank, wherein he can cover up the flanks, and that's actually a nice pick, wherein Freya might go rampant. Uh, Beleric will able to be able to swallow Freya up and throw her out of the team fight. And that's a nice pillow to have. I believe Barats is a nice pick in this meta, in particular drafts, and this draft is something that can work here paired up with Selena. Selena is going to be crucial for the side of Team Shadow
Hmm.
Esports to win. Uh, Selena is a pick that, if played right, can immediately win you matches. But if it starts to go wrong, and there you go, a Harley pick coming in from the side of Team CRQ, which does make it hard for the side of Team Shadow Esports to, uh, hit those stuns and make those formations, because of how cheeky Harley can be. Can easily go into the back line, instantly burst down Selena or a Clint, and just come back and do his usual jungling. So that is a nice pick coming in from the side of TRQ, in my opinion.
That's true. One draft, we are seeing a lot of balance kind of a thing. You have the frontliner, a massive iron wall of tank, and also a tool to counter engage the attacks coming in from CRQ. Plus, Lent, I believe he'll be cooking up the Sky Piercer for the burst that he could gain
For
out
sure.
of. But once again, like CRQ, they have a hit and run target. So it all comes down to whether or not like Shadow Esports are trying to overextend, and then like CRQ could look forward for the punishment because they have the burst damage. They also have the 2v onto the Brody. Will be constantly looking forward for the two stacks onto the enemy heroes and just use the tune apart memory that will deal a lot of damage. And you have the Harley for the sneaky plays with the poker cards trying to burst down once again into the.
Yeah, Madara seems to be in trouble, but he will be retreating. Eudora dealing that insane damage early game because of her new, recent, and improved passive. It's going to be a nice game here. Both the teams have to do their almost best because this is a do or die game for both of them. And yeah, Rigid Breath going in, giving almost all the crowd control. The side of Team CRP needs there. Viola and Madara both low, have to back out. It's actually really nice, In the first game, we saw both the teams having a brawly composition. In the second game, we had a 4-1 formation here with the Chain Lightning. Will be able to pick up a kill on to Selena there. Selena goes down. Kabuto picks up the first blood for the side of Team CRQ. As I was saying, it's interesting actually how both the teams have fared, Both the teams, the first game we saw brawly compositions from both of them. The second game we saw 4-1 composition from both of them. And in the third game we are seeing an in and out composition from both of them, where then they will go in, go out, go in, go out, go in, go out. Really mobile here. Atlas going in, using his second skill to probably get a pickup onto Violi, who is actually wandering off into the turret there, gets saved. Freya's ultimate gets used there, will be able to pick up a kill, maybe not. Bharat manages to escape there. Harley's ultimate comes out on Madara as well, unfortunately. With Bharat, will be able to pick up the kill onto Dark. Bharat's actually being useful really well there, on picking up that Freya, who was out of position, and get that kill. With that, Shadow Esports will be able to pick up the first turtle without any problems there. I don't think Team CRQ should have gone into Bharat there. Bharat's doing a fantastic job tanking and soaking in all the damage that Freya is doing. Freya's ultimate, with the help of the ultimate, whatever basic attacks that she did was to Freya there. Harley, okay, Sharon almost tries to pick up a kill onto Default, but that Default, again, being the tank, being the dino he is, being the fat boy he is, will be able to tank all the damage and survive and recall that.
I know you are quite excited about the game number 3, but it's still the night, and once again Kabuto falls down with a quick stun, and Professor Snape just whisks his wand and takes away the kill. Shadow Esports now leading into a brilliance damage of the early game. They secure the turtle. They are also looking forward for a lot of kills. Madara might be in some trouble, maybe not. Now here's the part, Zeta, because you think like the early game is already into the pockets of Shadow Esports. Maybe like Sharin and the rest of the members of CRQ might be in some trouble. I agree that Dark overextended, like basically did not anticipated the damage coming in from Freya, but Bharat was able to sustain all of them, which you mentioned quite good in a good manner. But it's just the fact that they only have Dark for the constant fight. Rest of the members are quite a hit and run, and Dark, he needs to fully commit. So he is the one of the members who's been constantly on the chopping block for fatal links.
Almost picks up a kill onto Selena there, but Selena will use a flicker to retreat. Meanwhile, Snape coming in for the backup. Almost Viola goes down there. I mean, not Viola, Kabuto goes down there. But Kabuto will also be able to retreat. Sharon doing the jungling, doing the part, waiting for the second turtle to spawn. But then again, Madara staying in that bush, giving the vision for the side of Team Shadow Esports there. Pellerix joins the fight as the turtle spawns in. So does Freya here. I think there will be an all-out team fight here. Charging up, Belle. Okay, Bharat uses his ultimate, charges up and picks up. Okay, Dark might go down here as Pellerix charges towards her. So, the damage coming in from Eudora was insane, but also Atlas escapes with a slither of health, guys. Slither of HP there. Kabuto doing his best. Connect onto Eudora there. Eudora will be going down. Snape picks up, manages to finish off that kill with the help of Tempests of Blades. He will be escaping, and both the teams now retreat with that one kill secured for the side of Team Shadow. As you were saying, Team CRQ needs Freya to fully commit. Yeah.
That's it. Shadow Esports with the wonderful early game into the pockets, and the constant threat coming in from the Epistolero is quite nuisance. Snape might be in some danger. 4 members looking around, looking forward for the trades. Just like that, Sharon goes down in the top lane off camera. 1v4 kills. Toby secures the tower. Retribution being used. That is a-okay, but what could CRQ do at this point? They need to funnel all the resources into the hands of Toby and Dark, because that's their constant approach of main damage. And once again, they need to look out for this big bad dino boy. Default is able to sustain all of the attacks, all of the damage coming in from the side of CRQ. And yeah,
I'm really surprised.
yeah, that's true. Like the defense or the hybrid defense that default get is way too humongous. You can just use a Titanos welcome if like any of the members is trying to engage or over exceeding. You just use the Titanos welcome and just kidnap the person. It is your own way. Oh, once again.
Then again, Abyssal Arrows are playing a huge part in the success of Team Shadow Esports. Their Fatal Link coming out, but unfortunately won't be able to pick up a kill onto anybody here. Instead, will go down themselves as Shadow Esports have full control of the map. Daytona proving to be a real trouble for the side of Team CRQ here. Actually pairs up really well with Selena, if you see so. Selena connecting the Abyssal Arrow, and then Daytona, I mean not Daytona, Barat pulling whoever is stunned outside from the turret, helping Selena secure the kill without taking the damage, is actually something that we have seen repeatedly now, and is working really well for the side of Team Shadow Esports.
Toby makes the Sky Piercer still on 0-0-0, so that is a good thing for CRQ. They still have the hopes, but a good Fatal Links and the engage coming in from the rest of the members could actually turn the tide. It's just a matter of time. Oh, Fatal Links onto the onto the Boras. Not a good target. Wrath of Triads from the Belleric inside the tower. Sunson picks up the kill onto the Kabuto. And the rest of the members of CRQ are forced to disengage while the mid tower will be able to fall down in the hands of Shadow Esports.
That's right, Kling joins the party here as well as dealing the damage from Shadow Esports early on as he completes his core items. Actually, let's look at the items now because I believe that most of the heroes from the side of Team Shadow Esports have already completed the core items. There you go. Clint already has that Blade of Aptasies and Endless Battle there. Meanwhile, Ling has that Berserker Fury and Half-Close, which is proving deadly for the side of Team CRQ here.
Oh, Deadly Magic. Snape. Tempest of Blade trying to evade. Flicker being used. Kabuto secures the kill, and now he might be in some trouble. Default, I think he misses the Detona's welcome. If he was able to catch Kabuto, it will be a secure kill and a beautiful trade in the hands. But now CRQ with the counter play, still making sure that they still are able to go for the contest. Abyssal Arrow onto the Atlas is be forced to disengage. The fire members are lurking, trying to gain a perfect momentum towards the Lord pit as the Lord will be spawning in 10 seconds. Look at the Harley position. He's looking for another kill with the Deadly Magic. Got the Lighting Truncheon, so the damage will be there with the Deadly Magic alongside the poker cards. Oh, Wiley.
Wrath of Rat comes in, almost catches nobody. Harley seems to be in trouble as Ling will be able to pick up that kill. Freya jumps onto Ling, but Tempest of Blade will come out. Starlight, not falling Starlight. Fatal Links coming out from Atlas there. Team CRQ managed to make a comeback here as Bharat seems to be in trouble, sustaining as beautifully as Brody is bursting down people left and right. A nice team fight for the side of Team CRQ, especially them being behind and farm till now. Selena was unfortunately not able to, capitalize on those Abyssal Arrows in this team fight. At least CRQ will not be wasting any time. Go into the first Lord of this match. Selena doing her best, maybe trying to secure the Lord with the help of Abyssal Arrows and provide vision for Shadow Esports side as well. At the same time, Dark, will be retreating very safely here. Lord marches out. CRQ will like to capitalize on this momentum and do as much damage as they can to Shadow Esports right now because they just want a team fight. They want the Lord here. Lord is marching out without wasting any time. They have the map control here, but then again, Shadow Esports, everybody has.
Belric.
Yes, Belric almost seem to be in trouble there, but will be able to retreat there without any problems because that team fight CRQ won only because Belric's Wrath of Rides didn't really connect to anybody and were not able to capitalize unless instead if Belric was able to time it perfectly and got that kill finally back up here. Okay, Ling goes in, almost picks up a kill onto Harley, but Harley Okay, I thought for a moment Sharon managed to evade that, but he will go down eventually because Ling, let's be honest, will chase down anything if possible.
Yeah, that's true. It's not easy to escape Professor Snape, especially when he is wielding the wielding the Elder Wand and is just showcasing the wrath of his magic. Now, Shadow Sports, they still managed to engage, and once again, Detona's Welcome is trying to be ready.
With the help of Flicker, actually, Detona's Welcome, but he unfortunately misses there, and the Fatal Link will connect, almost taking out Barat, but Barat will manage to escape there. So does Belleric. Belleric, Wrath of Riot used up, and that was an amazing Wrath of Riot paired up with Winter Truncheon. Not Winter Truncheon actually, that was Atlas's passive there. Shadow Esports will manage to cream that up. Beautiful play by Shadow Esports there. And also, I'd like to apologize all the Potterheads, all the fans of Harry Potter there. Professor Snape does not have the Elder Wand. I'm so sorry on behalf of my co-casters.
Actually, he does, because it does not really wield it, but is the one to kill. I mean, just skip the lore, but you get the point. I mean, yeah. Just because of that kind of a thing, he basically the Dark Lord kills him. Let's skip the part and let's move on to the game itself, because now Shadow Esports are really on the point, and now one mistake from CRQ could literally cost them the game in this tournament. A quick look at the itemization. Now Brody was leading with a 40 stacks of Sky Piercer tied once, so the stack is quite enough. But one good point is Clint does not have Sky Piercer, so the amount of kill he is leading on is not that much brutal, but it is going to be lethal with the not Divine Judgment, but Endless Battle alongside Sea of Halbert.
Yeah, actually CRQ were seeming like they were making a comeback into this match, but Shadow Esports making a beautiful play, not allowing that to happen. Ultimate from Atlas coming and connecting will pick up a kill onto Sanshin there, who was wandering off. Now marksman down for the side of Team Shadow Esports. Team CRQ will like to, capitalize on that as soon as possible, pick up a team fight, maybe win the team fight and also that Lord, but they are actually focusing on Lord here as Toby is going relentlessly towards the Lord, wherein the other members of Team CRQ are protecting him. Madara seems to be in a nice position there. People have to look out for Madara there. Wrath of Riot could change the whole thing. And he flickers in, uses Wrath of God. Ling was the one who was securing the turtle and also will secure a kill onto Atlas there. Belleric doing a great job here. Dark seems to be in trouble. Dark will be retreating with the help of Flicker there, and also Harley, because Harley was really low. Madara finally goes down. Brody bursting them down. Abyssal Arrow here connects onto Freya. Freya will be going down. I almost thought
Shot it.
Okay, that Abyssal Arrow, if it would have connected, Giole, you had my heart, but it did not happen. I was actually saying that Belleric was actually too comfortable there in between, wherein nobody was actually noticing where he was. He went in with the flicker, used his ultimate, changed the tide of that team fight, which CRQ had the control of, especially with the marksman, the Sansil, the Clint, who was down. Abyssal Arrow used really good there, by the way, to scout out the bushes and, keeping that constant pressure. Team Shadow Esports not allowing the side of Team CRQ to have any benefit of the comebacks that they are making, and that's really nice to see from the side of Team Shadow Esports.
That's true. Sharon picks an item. I forgot the item name. Blood Wings now has a lot of HP. So overall, we are going with the atomization, but it's still not enough because they need a perfect Fatal Links from the Atlas. And how scattered Shadow Esports are at this point, they know like, hey, it's gonna be anyone's game, and if we club up or if we give 2 to 3 members Fatal Links opportunity to the side of CRQ, we'll lose this match, and they know it. And that is very good of a reason. Default is still the tanky big boy as a Parats, is still able to dish out or sustain out a lot of damage that has been thrown out from the side of CRQ at this point. But the main concern right now are going to be Toby, especially him, because he has a lot of itemization alongside the Sky Piercer stacks, and now I know like it does not hit unless and until you've been stacked up with the shards, the passive shards, and the tournament turn apart memory will hit you like a truck.
Yeah, that is true. Toby has to be careful here in this team fight. So, he has to be wary of where the enemy front line is all the time here. Atlas going in, trying to scout, and he does scout that and escapes without any trouble here. But Team CRQ has to be really careful about those abyssal arrows, which Selena is throwing here and there. Harley will be scouted out here, and as soon as if you notice, as soon as Harley was scouted, abyssal arrow came right towards his way, and that's really well really well played from the side of the mage of Team Shadow Esports there. If you remember, I was telling you earlier when the game was starting that Serena will have a really big role to play in how this match turns out, and she is doing the part really well.
The Abyssal Trap is allowing a lot of presence, along with the constant thrown away from the Abyssal Arrow is giving a lot of vision. But once again, Snape will be able to secure the Lord itself once again. Oh, Dark and some command of HP. Sunsin will be able to bust him down. Conceal play from side of Atlas will be able to get out of the harm's way once again. Tempest of Blade, not really, but it was a Wrath of Rights. Once again, Tempest of Blade being used, but the members of CRQ will run away in a proper disengage. A 2-4-0 trade. Shadow Esports in lead with the Lord marching down. Is it going to be a game into their hands?
My MVP for both. I think this will be the end for the side of Shadow Esports. There they will be able to secure the kill here. Karen goes in, secures the kill onto Selena, but Ling will be able to trade it very comfortably here. Lord almost still full health. He will be locking onto the turret there, and this will be it. This will be the end as Shadow Esports managed to come back and clinch victory in game number 3, going into the semi-finals of MOBA Summer Cup. Wow, what an amazing match.
The priority of
eliminated. Yep.
The priority of Ling did came into the hand for the side of Shadow Esports. Professor Severus Snape. It looks sinister, but man, just give him the freedom. He's more evil and ruthless than you can ever see. 10-1-4 over the score. An amazing, absolutely beautiful gameplay from this Ling, and yeah, basically it's just the fact that you can do a lot of things. Like you can think like go and engage with this. Sounds good, but not that good. But overall, a lot of flaws were there from each side. It's just a matter of point that the early game in the snowball was so well performed from side of Shadow Esports that they were able to build up the massive goal lead that CRQ was not able to compete with them, and even was missing a big factor of the crew of the fatal links and the things that could play a part for them, but it was missing most of the time.
Yep, exactly. And sometimes that's something that I really liked throughout the match was the fact that Team CRQ made plays here and there, trying to change the tide. Especially in game number 3, wherein they had their moments. They made a comeback, a little small victory, but Team Shadow Esports made sure that they won't, allow the side of Team CRQ to carry forward that momentum and instantly cut that off. I can actually mention 2 or 3 movements from here, and at the center of all those movements is Madara, the Belleric, the tank for the side of Team Shadow Esports, who did really well. Give it this match, give it the last match with Kalia, if you remember. He has played an absolutely brilliant, absolutely pivotal role for the side of Team Shadow Esports and in their victory tonight, as they will be advancing to the semi-finals, and he will be my MVP for the match overall. He was actually really nice. He actually carried the side of Team Shadow Esports, in my opinion.
I really say that all the glaze from the side of Shadow Esports do really needs to go out for the Madara, because he was the one to provide all the essential information, allowing players to go with the perfect set, especially into the game number 2. How stupendously he played that. Kalia was way out of mind, man. Gary was
also the Wrath of Brides from this. Yeah, exactly. The Wrath of Brides in this match as well. So that was actually something that was worth to mention because rumors really do get really less shown light on. Then again, Snape also did really well to come back. In the first match, Yi Sun-shin not so much, but then again he picked Ling twice, and twice he was able to prove why Ling was the winning jungler and pick up the jungler tonight. And that's the story of how they beat CRQ and advanced into the semi-finals. Unfortunately for CRQ, they are eliminated from the side of Team MOBA Summer Cup. But good news for the side of Team Shadow Esports as they advanced to the semi-final. And it was really entertaining watch, really educational actually to see both the teams play, both two experienced underdogs in the tournament scene play.
That's true. Right now, CRQ with the broken hearts and the eyes into the tears, be able to go or walk out away from this tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be the best of 3-2 series. Godlike and Shadow Esports will be the one today proceeding towards the next stage, maybe the semi-finals.
Mm-hmm. And yes, see you tomorrow, guys. We will be back with the remaining 2 quarterfinal matches, and I know that they are going to be as exciting as they were today. So please don't miss out. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Rayuga Esports do tournaments regularly. You need to be subscribed in order to get the notifications. Follow us on socials to be updated with all the news first. And this has been it. This has been it, Zita, and with me, my co-caster, Saskia. This will be it for today. We'll see you tomorrow.
गायब हो गया बन गया कम्युनिटी राज अग्नि बनना चाहे फ्रंट मान सपने बड़े महान मी टेरी दौर है टैलेंटेड बस टाइमिंग थोड़ी अनजान सेंस की कहानी अलग 2 मिनट का जान हर टॉपिक पे आ जाता उसका नया राग सिलिया रखे सबका ख्याल दिल से बड़ी स्वीट रेनर चक में आता तो शुरू हो जाती हीट समा का नाम सुनते ही सब बोलते लो भाई पर फिर भी हर रेवन में उसकी अटेंडेंस आई रिमूरू स्टाइल का किंग है ज्वेलरी का शौकीन कैन पाची और रैंक्सी दोनों का उस मशीन टोर्नेडो जंगर बनने आया बड़े अरमान पहले राउंड में हार गया फिर भी रखी अपनी एक कम्युनिटी हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी रायुगा मस्ती मीम्स और एंडलेस बातें सारी रात रायुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात ये है रायुगा फैमिली अगर सबके रंग कभी हंसी कभी रोस्ट कभी गाने के संग जो भी आए यहाँ बन जाए अपना यार रायुगा कम्युनिटी रहे सदा तैयार रायुगा कम्युनिटी सब आ जाओ साथ हंसी मजाक मस्ती और दोस्ती की बात सनी रूल इजुमी सबका अलग अंदाज रायुगा के मेंबर्स है एकदम खास सबसे पहले सनी आता लिव स्ट्रीम पे छाया काम के नाम पे कभी कभी नींद उसको आया फिर आता रूल मारा है इवेंट्स का सुल्तान नए नए टूर्नामेंट्स लाके बढ़ता अपनी जान इजुमी रहती थोड़ी सच पर सबकी करती केयर बैरिस की तारीफ करना उसकी स्पेशल फ्लेयर थोड़ी भूल कर दे है पर दिल से बड़ी प्यारी चक में कुछ भी भूल जाए फिर भी सबकी यारी रायुगा अपनी एक कम्युनिटी हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी रायुगा मस्ती में सो एंडलेस बातें सारी रात रायुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात डरला का मूड अनप्रेडिक्टेबल सबको करे हैरान चट में आते ही शुरू हो जाता नया तूफान अभी भी सबको सपोर्ट करे सबकी बने दोस्त हर डिस्कशन में मिलता उसका पॉजिटिव पोस्ट कौश है काम का राजा सुबह से लेकर रात मेहनत करके रखता सब कुछ एकदम साथ हैप्पी करता फ्लर्टिंग जोक चट में रहे एक्टिव सब उसको बोलते सिंपल बंदा है अट्रैक्टिव म्यूजिक को बस काम ही का मैनेजमेंट की क्वीन हर इवेंट को स्मूथ बनाए जैसे परफेक्ट मशीन रायुगा अपनी एक कम्युनिटी हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी रायुगा सॉन्ग कभी लेट आती सबको देती सरप्राइज ग्रिफिन मैंने डिस्कोर करता फिर भी कोई ना रिप्लाई पृथ्वी और दरला की चलती अलग कहानी छत में दोनों मिलके करते मस्ती पुरानी जेस्टी का बस एक ही मिशन इन दी वन की फाइट दिन हो या हो रात रेडी एवरी नाइट फुटबॉल का एक किस्सा सबको याद है आज एक दिन गायब हो गया बन गया कम्युनिटी राज अग्नि बनना चाहे फ्रंट मान सपने बड़े महान मी टेरी दौर है टैलेंटेड बस टाइमिंग थोड़ी अनजान सेंस की कहानी अलग 2 मिनट का जान हर टॉपिक पे आ जाता उसका नया राग जिलिया रखे सबका ख्याल दिल से बड़ी स्वीट रेनर छत में आता तो शुरू हो जाती हीट समा का नाम सुनते ही सब बोलते लो भाई पर फिर भी हर रेवन में उसकी अटेंडेंस आई रिमुरू स्टाइल का किंग है ज्वेलरी का शौकीन कैन पाची और रैंक्सी दोनों का उस मशीन टोर्नेडो जंगर बनने आया बड़े अरमान पहले राउंड में हार गया फिर भी रखी रायुगा अपनी एक कम्युनिटी हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी रायुगा मस्ती मीम्स और एंडलेस बातें सारी रात रायुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात ये है रायुगा फैमिली अगर सबके रंग कभी हंसी कभी रोस्ट कभी गाने के संग जो भी आए यहाँ बन जाए अपना यार रायुगा कम्युनिटी रहे सदा तैयार रायुगा रायुगा कम्युनिटी सब आ जाओ साथ हंसी मजाक मस्ती और दोस्ती की बात सनी रूल इजुमी सबका अलग अंदाज रायुगा के मेंबर्स है एकदम खास सबसे पहले सनी आता लिव स्ट्रीम पे छाया काम के नाम पे कभी कभी नींद उसको आया फिर आता रूल मारा है इवेंट्स का सुल्तान नए नए टूर्नामेंट्स लाके बढ़ता अपनी जान इजुमी रहती थोड़ी सच पर सबकी करती केयर बैरिस की तारीफ करना उसकी स्पेशल फ्लेयर थोड़ी भूल कर है पर दिल से बड़ी प्यारी छत में कुछ भी भूल जाए फिर भी सबकी यारी रायुगा अपनी एक कम्युनिटी हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी रायुगा मस्ती में और एंडलेस बातें सारी रात रायुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात डरला का मूड अनप्रेडिक्टेबल सबको करे हैरान छत में आते ही शुरू हो जाता नया तूफान अभी भी सबको सपोर्ट करे सबकी बने दोस्त हर डिस्कशन में मिलता उसका पॉजिटिव पोस्ट कौश है काम का राजा सुबह से लेकर रात मेहनत करके रखता सब कुछ एकदम साथ हैप्पी करता फ्लर्टिंग जोक छत में रहे एक्टिव सब उसको बोलते सिंपल बंदा है अट्रैक्टिव म्यूजिक को बस काम ही का मैनेजमेंट की क्वीन हर इवेंट को स्मूथ बनाए जैसे परफेक्ट मशीन रायुगा अपनी एक कम्युनिटी हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी रायुगा मस्ती मीम्स और एंडलेस बातें सारी रात रायुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात सॉन्ग कभी लेट आती सबको देती सरप्राइज ग्रिफिन मैंने डिस्कोर करता फिर भी कोई ना रिप्लाई पृथ्वी और दरला की चलती अलग कहानी छत में दोनों मिलके करते मस्ती पुरानी जेस्टी का बस एक ही मिशन इन दी वन की फाइट दिन हो या हो रात रेडी एवरी नाइट फुटबॉल का एक किस्सा सबको याद है आज एक दिन गायब हो गया बन गया कम्युनिटी राज अग्नि बनना चाहे फ्रंट मान सपने बड़े महान मी टेरी दौर है टैलेंटेड बस टाइमिंग थोड़ी अनजान सेंस की कहानी अलग 2 मिनट का जान हर टॉपिक पे आ जाता उसका नया राग जिलिया रखे सबका ख्याल दिल से बड़ी स्वीट रेनर छत में आता तो शुरू हो जाती हीट समा का नाम सुनते ही सब बोलते लो भाई पर फिर भी हर रेवन में उसकी अटेंडेंस आई रिमुरू स्टाइल का किंग है ज्वेलरी का शौकीन कैन पाची और रैंक्सी दोनों का उस मशीन टोर्नेडो जंगर बनने आया बड़े अरमान पहले राउंड में हार गया फिर भी रखी रायुगा अपनी एक कम्युनिटी हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी रायुगा मस्ती मीम्स और रहे सदा तैयार। Rayuga, Rayuga! रायुगा कम्युनिटी सब आ जाओ, साथ हंसी मजाक मस्ती और दोस्ती की बात। सनी रूल इजुमी सबका अलग अंदाज, रायुगा के मेंबर्स है एकदम खास। सबसे पहले सनी आता लिव स्ट्रीम पे छाया, काम के नाम पे कभी कभी नींद उसको आया। फिर आता रूल मारा है वेंस का सुल्तान, नए नए टूर्नामेंट्स लाके बढ़ता अपनी जान। इजुमी रहती थोड़ी सच पर सबकी करती केयर, बैरिस की तारीफ करना उसकी स्पेशल फ्लेयर। थोड़ी भूल कर दे है पर दिल से बड़ी प्यारी, चक में कुछ भी भूल जाए फिर भी सबकी यारी। ओ रायुगा, रायुगा अपनी ये कम्युनिटी, हर मेंबर की अलग है पर्सनालिटी। रायुगा, रायुगा मस्ती में सौ endless बातें सारी रात। रायुगा के साथ कभी ना होती बोरिंग बात। डरला का मूड अनप्रेडिक्टेबल सबको करे हैरान, चट में आते ही शुरू हो जाता नया तूफान। अभी भी सबको सपोर्ट करे सबकी बने दोस्त, हर डिस्कशन में मिलता उसका पॉजिटिव पोस्ट। कौश है काम का राजा, सुबह से लेकर रात मेहनत करके रखता सब कुछ एकदम साथ। हैप्पी करता फ्लर्टिंग जोक, चैट में रहे एक्टिव, सब उसको बोलते सिंपल बंदा है अट्रैक्टिव। म्यूजिक को बस काम ही का मैनेजमेंट की क्वीन, हर इवेंट को स्मूथ बनाए जैसे परफेक्ट मशीन। होती बोरिंग बात। सॉन्ग कभी लेट आती सबको देती सरप्राइज, ग्रिफिन मैंने डिस्कोर करता फिर भी कोई ना रिप्लाई। ब्रिथी और दरला की चलती अलग कहानी, छत में दोनों मिलके करते मस्ती पुरानी। जेस्टी का बस एक ही मिशन इन दी वन की फाइट, दिन हो या हो रात रेडी एवरी नाइट। फुटबॉल का एक किस्सा सबको याद है आज, एक दिन गायब हो गया बन गया कम्युनिटी राज। अग्नि बनना चाहे फ्रंटमैन, सपने बड़े महान, मी टेरी दौर है टैलेंटेड बस टाइमिंग थोड़ी अनजान। सेम्स की कहानी अलग 2 मिनट का जान, हर टॉपिक पे आ जाता उसका नया